Hello, everybody, and welcome into Ray Fisher Stadium here at the Wilpon Baseball Softball Complex on the campus of the University of Michigan for WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan Baseball. I'm Austin Falco. Alongside me, Nick Hornberg. You'll hear from Andy Laidlaw. Also during today's broadcast, bringing you all the action of Game 1, a three-game series here at Ray Fisher between the Minnesota Golden Gophers and the Michigan Wolverines. And first and foremost for the Wolverines this weekend, it starts on the bump with their ace, Tommy Henry, starting things off with the Friday start.
Well, Henry, as you said, the Friday starter, and he has had an absolutely fantastic start to his junior season. A 0.76 ERA. That's good whether you're an adherent to old stats or new stats. And 6-1 record. In 7 appearances, oddly enough, every appearance he's had has resulted in a decision. His only loss was against Texas Tech, conceding a batting average of 167, well below the Mendoza line. 1 complete game so far, averages nearly 7 innings a start, only given up 4 earned runs in 7 starts, as stated, to go with 57 strikeouts. Really one of the best pitchers, if not the best, in the conference right now.
He will face a Minnesota lineup that goes as follows. Ben Mazenga starts off in center field, leads off the ball game. The catcher Eli Wilson bats second. Max Meyer is on the mound today, bats third, a little bit of a rare occurrence. You have the DH here. Easton Bertrand is the right fielder, batting fourth. Batting fifth, the shortstop Jordan Kozicki. Cole McDevitt plays first base and bats sixth. Batting seventh is the second baseman Zach Raby. Jack Wassel plays third and bats eighth. And Riley Smith is the left fielder. He bats in the 9 spot for the Golden Gophers in this one today.
Well, not only is it strange that in college baseball where there is a designated hitter that a pitcher bats for Minnesota, he bats third. And Max Meyer leading the lineup in average at hitting .312. Only one that even comes close to him, the only other hitter in that lineup to hit over 300 is Eli Wilson, hitting above him in the second spot, .306. Not often you see catcher and pitcher bat one after the other in a lineup, particularly a pitcher hitting third.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. A younger lineup for Minnesota as well, just 2 seniors in the entire lineup, or rather 3 seniors. One of them starts off, Ben Mazenga, the center fielder. And a very righty-heavy lineup against Tommy Henry also, just 3 lefties, and as you mentioned, one of them is Ben Mazenga and one is that starting pitcher, Max Meyer. A couple of key cogs, but other than that, it seems Minnesota playing the righties against the lefty Henry. And not a bad idea when you're going up against someone as good as Tommy Henry has been this season.
Yeah, you take what advantage you can get in this situation, playing the platoon advantage more often than not, but Tommy Henry, his ERA and his stats would not be that good if he could only pitch to left-handed hitters.
It's a battle between teams first and second in the Big Ten currently. And we'll start off with Tommy Henry with the first pitch to Ben Mazenga off the inside corner with the fastball for ball 1.
And a bit of an interesting start. Ben Mazenga squared around to bunt initially before pulling away.
Lefty against lefty starting things off here. Junior Tommy Henry, senior Ben Mazenga. Mazenga batting .260 on the year. The 1-0 pitch to him, squares around a bunt, lays it on the first base line. Coming over to field is Kerr. Kerr will beat Mazenga to the bag, who slid into first base. And that'll go down as out number 1, 3 unassisted.
Well, that was actually an excellent bunt straight down the line, and Jimmy Kerr having to come over and make a play. However, Mazenga, the lefty, could only get it over to first base in that instance. Had he get down the third base line, he's on base by a long shot, but right at Jimmy Kerr. Another good play. Jimmy Kerr having a good last about 10 days or so in playing defense at first base.
Defense and offense as well. We'll get to that when he comes up later on. Eli Wilson, the catcher, batting second. It hits a first pitch in the air to right field. Moving over is Jordan Brewer, a couple steps into the right center field gap. Mimicking him behind is Jesse Franklin as Brewer makes the grab for out number 2 on just 3 pitches so far.
Yeah, Tommy Henry. And if you're Michigan, the plan is quite simple. The longer Tommy Henry stays in the game, the more likely Michigan is to win. So quick innings like this, he's got 2 outs and 3 pitches already. He keeps it under 10, then he is primed to go a long way if he gets a couple innings of throwing less than 10 pitches.
Working out the windup is Henry to Max Meyer, his counterpart. This is a ground ball up the middle. Blomgren playing right behind the second base bag. Charges, makes the play to first in time for out number 3. Just 4 pitches thrown by Tommy Henry there in the top half of the first inning. He sets down the Gophers 1-2-3. And at the end of a half inning, it's Minnesota 0, Michigan coming up on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball.
That's about as good of a start as you can ask for from Tommy Henry. Maybe the statisticians will be upset because no strikeouts, but Tommy Henry, an absolutely fantastic start. 4 pitches, getting through the most dangerous part of the lineup. There are only 2 hitters over 300, Eli Wilson and Max Meyer. And as stated, Tommy Henry, 1 complete game so far this season. If to give Michigan best chance of winning today, he probably in their best interest to see if he can go the distance today for his 2nd complete game as well.
Certainly on track to do that. To start off, just a half inning of play here. He'll need some run support from the Michigan offense, who will go up against a formidable foe in Max Meyer. The Michigan offense, they will send out looks as follows. Jordan Wogu is a designated hitter. He bats first. Batting in that second slot is the center fielder, Jesse Franklin. Right fielder Jordan Brewer bats third. Miles Lewis plays left and bats in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth, playing third base, is Blake Nelson. Over on the other side of the diamond at first base is Jimmy Kerr. He bats sixth. The shortstop, Jack Blomgren, bats in the 7th spot. In the 8 hole is the backstop for the Wolverines today, Joe Donovan. And playing second base, rounding out the Wolverine lineup, is Akeo Thomas. They go against a stud pitcher for Minnesota, another stud Big Ten pitcher, in Max Meyer, the right-hander, coming in, making 9 appearances. 4 of those have been starts this season. He's won over that Friday starter job. He's 2-1 with a 1.46 ERA. Similarly to Tommy Henry, big strikeout numbers, 45 strikeouts, just 6 walks in 37 innings pitched. And batters only hit 169 against him, just a couple ticks above what they do against Tommy Henry. So could be in store for a pitcher's duel today.
Yeah, good, quick, clean game. Score very well could be 2-1 or 1-0 at the very end of it. However, Michigan does have the lineup advantage on Minnesota, with 5 hitters hitting over 300: Jordan Wogu, Jordan Brewer, Miles Lewis, Blake Nelson, and Jack Blomgren.
One of those guys starts off the ball game for the Wolverines, right-handed hitting Jordan Wogu. He steps into the batter's box, ready to start things here in the bottom of the first against Meyer. First pitch from Meyer is a fastball that misses high to Wogu, 1-0.
And Jordan Wogu, one of the many freshmen who came alive last season for Michigan, hit almost 400 when all was said and done.
And Michigan had the best recruiting class in Big Ten history by some measures last year. Really starting to show dividends as they get into this season. It's the 1-0 pitch, another fastball that misses outside, and it's 2-0. Meyer working quickly out there, winds up the 2-0 pitch. Another fastball, this one low, and it's 3-0.
And really, Michigan, a lot of their offense is predicated on getting runners on base and then getting aggressive on base paths with stealing second. You see some double steals, you'll see some sacrifices. And Jordan Wogu, a very strong player on the base paths, and could be very important for that.
3-0 pitch is in there for a strike, 3-1, although get me over. Fastball there on the outside part of the plate. Wogu taking all the way. Now winding up for a 3-1 pitch is Meyer. Taking again is Wogu, and that's on the outside part of the plate for strike 2.
And excellent recovery pitches there by Max Meyer. And now running the count full, and Jordan Wogu not quite the guaranteed free pass that you'd expect.
Wogu lines this full count pitch into right center. This one's going to get into the gap. Wogu's going to try for second. The throw in towards second is not going to be in time. Wogu slides in safely with a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Well, once that got passed into deep center field, I was expecting he would stretch 2, but then once he got to first base, he sort of held up and then was sent. And you see there the first base coach talking it over with him a little bit there. I think if he was thinking double out of the box, that would have been a very easy double. He probably could have gotten in there standing up, but holding up at first base made it a very interesting play. But Michigan gets their first batter on base.
Minnesota had Wogu played perfectly. The second baseman, Raby, was just about exactly where that line drive was hit, just not tall enough. And Jesse Franklin steps in with a runner in scoring position for Michigan. He hits one on the right field line that just gets foul into the corner.
Unlucky there. Jesse Franklin, after nearly winning Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year, really coming back to earth in a big way this season. And that's another foot or so to the left. Then that's an extra base hit, and Jordan Wogu plates Michigan's first run.
Franklin still showing good plate discipline, still having good at-bats. Just doesn't quite have the luck of the average to go with it, hitting just .234 this season. Has that .374 on-base percentage, though, putting together good plate appearances as he takes an 0-1 pitch high with the fastball popping out of his crouch to field that one as Wilson behind the plate, and it's 1-1.
And you see Eric Bakic's strategy on the base path starting to settle in there. Jordan Wogu taking a big lead off and forcing the pitch out.
Wogu again, a decent-sized lead. Coming over is Kozicki, the shortstop behind him, but no throw over there as the 1-1 pitch is fouled off to the left side. That'll get out of play. And the count's 1-2 on Franklin.
Hit high off the wall at Yost Ice Arena. I think all the cars are safe for now.
Minnesota's defensive lineup goes across the outfield. Smith, Mazinga, and Bertrand across the infield. It's Wassel, Kozicki, Raby, and McDevitt with Wilson behind the plate for Meyer. Meyer comes set at the belt, looking at Wogu at second base as he fires one. Franklin reaches out and fouls it off the end of the bat. Off to the left side and out of play again. It's still 1-2.
And Franklin battling. As we said, Tommy Henry got through the first inning in 4 pitches. Max Meyer just threw his 10th.
Good at bat here from Jesse Franklin so far. Staying alive with a couple foul balls. There's another 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball misses high and away again. It's 2-2.
I think that one really just got away from Meyer there. He looked up at the sky as soon as Wilson had to get out of his stance to get that one. That was not a pitch out.
I'm not sure if the other one was either. It was close. Wilson popped out of his stance both times. Both were fastballs, it appeared to be, that missed high and away. 2-2 pitch to Franklin. This one is hit in the air towards left field. Going back near the track is Smith. He's got to play that one off the wall. And actually, no, it's gone! I didn't think that one had the height at first to get over that tall wall in left field, but it did as Jesse Franklin goes opposite field for the 2-run blast, and Michigan leads 2-0 here in the first on Jesse Franklin's 6th home run of the season.
I'm with you. I didn't think that one had the height initially. It looked like a low line drive that was gonna go into the top of the wall, but that one getting just over the top, and Franklin got unlucky with that first swing of the bat, almost an extra base hit that would have scored Wogu. And unlucky that first one, this time got lucky, able to line that one over the wall. And just like that, Minnesota's stud pitcher has let 2 runs score without so much as recording an out.
I think you should talk more about disappointing seasons here, Nick, and maybe spark a couple more Michigan offensive outputs. So the first pitch to Jordan Brewer catches the outside corner for a strike 0-1.
Well, I can't really say that Jordan Brewer's been disappointing.
Very true. Jordan Brewer, the best hitter in this Wolverine lineup as he fouls on the right field line. It's 0-2 on him. Comes in batting .376. Gets on base at a clip of .415. Leads the Wolverines in home runs with 8, RBIs with 30.
And speaking of home runs, Jesse Franklin, that was his 6th home run on the season, now moving into a tie, or actually by himself 2nd on home runs on the team. He was tied with Jimmy Kerr at 5 going into today.
0-2 pitch to Brewer, misses off the plate. Brings the count to 1-2. And now the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed outside, but going around on the check swing, according to Perry Costello, was Jordan Brewer. Didn't look like it from up here. Jordan Brewer not happy as he walks back to the dugout, but that'll go down as a swinging strikeout for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, there's some anger expressed in the crowd here at Ray Fisher Stadium, and Brewer, and looking at it, I thought he held up.
He had no appeal from Perry Costello down to first base. He ruled that Brewer went around. Again, looked from up here like he held up. Guess we'll never officially know as Miles Lewis swings and fouls out the first pitch he sees from Meyer. Off to the right side, it's 0-1. Meyer likes to work quickly. You wouldn't be surprised to see his Wolverine hitters call time a couple times, take their little bit more time getting back in the box. 0-1. Fastball misses outside, 1-1's the count.
And that strikeout, regardless of how you feel about whether Jordan Brewer came around, that was big for Max Meyer trying to settle into this game.
1-1 pitch, fastball in the inside corner against Lewis. Good pitch there, and it counts 1-2. And it was a good breaking ball from Meyer, too, to get Brewer to even think about chasing. It missed well outside the zone, but how much movement was on it still got the chase from Brewer, as this 1-2 pitch just popped up near the right side. It's in foul territory. Ranging over is McDevitt near the Minnesota dugout. He'll have room to make the grab for out number 2.
And now Max Meyer has recovered a little bit after giving up 2 runs early on from a 2-run shot from Jesse Franklin. And now Michigan's lineup getting into the second of their 4 seniors, a very old lineup relative to the for Michigan, relatively, especially Minnesota using a young lineup. Blake Nelson, rather, the second senior.
Yeah, Blake Nelson transferred to Michigan last season, playing in his second season with the Wolverines. Takes the first pitch from Meyer outside for a ball, 1-0. Part of that recruiting class that Eric Bakich brought in last year as the transfer. Part of the infusion of talent that has propelled the Wolverines to a early 20-7 record. Takes a 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Michigan 20-7 on the season, 2-0 in the Big Ten with a couple wins against Michigan State last weekend. As the 1-1 pitch misses maybe a bit low, the count's 2-1.
Well, that freshman class also propelled them to a 20-game win streak last season.
Unfortunately, couldn't finish it off with an NCAA tournament berth as Nelson lines one towards center field, ranging in and making a diving stab, but unable to make the grab is Mazinga out there. Good effort, kept it in front of him as well. But that'll be a single here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the first for Nelson.
Yeah, at first I thought he had laid out and made what would be the defensive play of the game, and even so, that could still be it. And really, at that point, that ball is so difficult to catch, especially in the sun. You're running towards it and have to lay out forward and trying to get that while it's coming at you. That's an incredibly tough play to make. The fact that he kept it in front of him is actually more important than the fact that he caught it or that he didn't catch it.
So Nelson over at first. Jimmy Kerr stepping up to the plate. Faking going as Kerr lines one to right field was Nelson, but able to make the play out there and right is Bertrand with a little hop in his step for out number 3 here in the bottom half of the first. But the big blow after a leadoff double from Wogu comes off the bat of Jesse Franklin. 2-run home run to left field puts the Wolverines ahead after 1. The score Michigan 2, Minnesota 0 on the official student radio for broadcast for Michigan baseball here on WCBN Sports.
Well, Austin, I have some bad news. Jimmy Kerr is not going to go 5 for 5 today. But either way, Michigan, excellent job at least at the start of the inning by Jordan Wogu and then Jesse Franklin to get to Max Meyer. Generally, ace pitchers are at their most vulnerable in the first inning. I know that was that's always been an affliction of Justin Verlander, a long-time Detroit Tigers starting pitcher, was always the most vulnerable in the first inning. And getting to Meyer, getting 2 runs, and forcing him to throw 25 pitches in that first inning, you've potentially damaged his confidence today, as well as damaging his ability to go to be long for this game with a high pitch count first inning. Throwing more than 6 times as many pitches as Tommy Henry in the first.
He had 25 pitches in that first inning for Meyer. Henry got out of the first in just 4. I highly doubt Henry goes 4 pitches again here. If we're setting an over-under, I think it's a little bit higher than 4 this
I'd imagine that is improbable.
Especially with the strikeout totals that Tommy Henry has. You might expect him to throw at least 3 to somebody at some point.
Now here's a question. If you're Coach Eric Bakich, would you rather Tommy Henry gets 4 groundouts or throws an immaculate inning? Or 3 groundouts and 4 pitches, or throws an immaculate inning?
Here in the second, when you only threw 4 pitches in the first, you can go for the immaculate inning. It really sets the tone early on after you scored 2 in the bottom of the half of the first. Both unlikely, but
it wouldn't be called an immaculate inning if it happened often.
Fair enough. Immaculate inning, 9 strikes or 3 strikeouts. I believe it was Josh Hader did that a couple days ago. Henry will pitch to Easton Bertrand, the right-handed hitting right fielder for Minnesota. First pitch fastball misses high and away for a ball, 1-0. Bertrand comes into this one batting .275 on the season, .346 on base percentage. To go along with 11 extra base hits, including 4 home runs on the year. Cleanup hitter for Minnesota swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch from Henry, and the count's 1-1.
Well, an aggressive swing there by Bertrand, really trying. It looks like he was playing for the home run. That's something, if he's going to continue to be that aggressive, Tommy Henry can take advantage of with 1 strike down.
Yeah, look, he went with the fastball up in the zone there against the 6'4" Easton Bertrand. 1-1 pitch to him is hit in the air towards right field or left field and deep. That one is going back at the track, the wall, gone. Big home run there from Easton Bertrand here in the second inning to cut the lead in half. And it's 2-1 now. Michigan leads Minnesota.
Well, that's big for Minnesota. It's also big for Michigan to see how Tommy Henry is going to respond to this. Now he's given up a run, but if there's a silver lining to it is that he can essentially just start over. There's no men on base, none of that to worry about. He can just he can go back to just pitching and keep the lead intact.
A long ball, to say the least, off the bat of Bertrand. His 5th home run of the season, leads the Golden Gophers. And now the guy he was formerly tied with, Jordan Kozicki, steps to the plate. First pitch to Kozicki is a fastball that misses high and away, 1-0. Kozicki, .299 on the batting average department coming into this one. Has himself 13 extra base hits coming into this ballgame, including 4 home runs as well. 1-0 pitch. Hit in the air and back over our heads, foul. The count's 1-1.
And so far, Minnesota playing the platoon advantage with the righties. It paid off. Bertrand, of course, the right-handed hitter against the left-handed Tommy Henry, and now Kozicki, another power-hitting right-handed batter.
Yeah, one way to get to an ace is to hit a couple long balls if you don't think you're going to be able to string together consistent hits. And a high fastball there, swung on and missed from Kozicki, and the count's 1-2.
And Henry so far seems to have that fastball working.
Yeah, fastball very effective. Normally that curveball is just put-away pitch. You're in a 1-2 count. We might see it for the first time today, the big breaking ball. Just a curveball and slider. Both are so good, it's kind of almost hard to tell the difference at times as that breaking ball misses low and in. Good job by Kozicki. Not to chase and run the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's an easy one to chase, especially starts on the outside of the plate and then moves inside.
So it'll be a 2-2 pitch. Henry takes a breath, holds that glove at his chest, winds up, and it's on the way. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the zone for strike 3. Henry gets his first strikeout of the ball game, and there's 1 gone here in the second.
And with Henry, every pitch is coming out at a high velocity. It's not like a Clayton Kershaw curveball where it comes out at 66 miles an hour against a 95 fastball, but everything is fast, but the fastball is such a high velocity that the difference is still substantial between his fastball and his changeup.
Yeah, and the movement on it is almost unhittable, a reason why he's been so good this season so far. And he starts off Cole McDevitt with a breaking ball there for strike 1. Throwing exclusively first pitch fastballs to this point, and McDevitt comes up, the first baseman hits on the right side for Minnesota and gets a first pitch breaking ball. And then sees a fastball and is way off of it. Counts 0-2. You're up 0-2 now. You got a swing and a miss on that fastball there after starting off with the breaking ball. What are you going with here? You can pretty much go anywhere, I think.
He can do whatever he wants.
0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Looked like a high fastball on that one for strike 3. 2 swinging strikeouts in a row, and now there's 2 gone in the second.
All right, now his strikeout totals are starting to come up now.
I just mentioned you expect a couple strikeouts in this game from Tommy Henry. He's got a couple already.
Now he has an opportunity now to, as another right-handed hitter comes up, he has an opportunity to, after giving up that home run, to recover and strike out the side.
Zach Raby steps up to the plate. First pitch is a fastball that he's well behind and fouls into the Minnesota dugout. Looks like everybody's all right over there.
Zach Raby would not be the first hitter to come in behind Tommy Henry's fastball.
Count 0-1 on the second baseman for Minnesota. Batting .224 on the season. Just 1 extra base hit for him. 0-1 pitch. A little behind that one as well as he fouls it off the end of the bat to the right side and counts 0-2.
And once again, another batter who Henry has on the edge of on the end of a string. 0-2 now.
Yeah, ever since getting out that home run, struggled a little bit against Kozicki, but was still up in the count for most of that at bat, and then absolutely shut down McDevitt on 3 pitches. Looking to do the same here to Raby. The windup, the 0-2 pitch. high fastball couldn't get him chasing. The count's 1-2.
Well, Henry had to locate that one high and out of the zone with McDevitt. McDevitt never really had a prayer, but Raby foul tipping 2 fastballs would have been able to stay alive had that swing been in the zone, or had that ball been in the zone.
Raby, the 5'10 freshman from Forest Lake, Minnesota, making his 15th start in 25 games for the Gophers. A breaking ball at the top of the zone misses just a bit high, and the count's 2-2.
And another excellently located pitch. That's one that you want to paint the corner with, and a little bit of discontent here at Ray Fisher Stadium again as not a called third strike, even though that one did look well high.
There was some Wolverines starting to take a couple steps off the field on that one. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3 with the fastball. Starts off with a couple of fastballs, a couple of breaking balls, and finishes them off with the heater. And as you mentioned, Tommy Henry striking out the side after the leadoff home run from Bertrand. But that leadoff home run does cut Michigan's lead in half here through an inning and a half worth of play at Ray Fisher Stadium. The score, Michigan 2, Minnesota 1 on the official student radio broadcast for Michigan baseball here on WCBN Sports. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Austin Falco alongside me for these first few innings. They're Nick Hornberg. You'll hear from Andy Laidlaw later on as well. Get a little 3-man rotating booth up here for you, calling all the action on a beautiful day to come out to the ballpark here at Ray Fisher.
Yeah, this is some of the best weather I've seen since the calendar flipped to 2019, and that was some excellent baseball there from Tommy Henry and catcher Joe Donovan. Really, the way they attacked Zach Raby, 3 pitches high, and then hitting him with the fastball low after mixing in the off-speed pitch between fastballs, and Raby had no idea. It didn't look like he had a clue.
Yeah, Tommy Henry heating up just like the weather after that leadoff home run. 59, it's officially partly sunny, I believe, is what you officially call today. But still getting up there. It should be about this all weekend, if I'm not mistaken, around 60 degrees all weekend with some sunshine. Yes. Starting to feel like baseball season.
Spring has finally arrived in Ann Arbor, suffice to say. And
well, let's not jump the gun here.
Well,
we still could get another winter coming up here in a week or so. With the way this works.
And you learn fast in your. You've only been here a couple years from Chicago, but Tommy Henry, with that striking out of the side, now has hit 60 on the season.
60 on the season in under 50 innings pitched. Very impressive for the junior and what has become really a breakout campaign as one of the best pitchers, I should say, in the conference, maybe one of the best pitchers in the country at this point. Jack Blomgren lead things off for the Wolverines against Max Meyer. He swings and misses at a good breaking ball moving off the plate away. The count's 0-1.
Well, Jack Blomgren, another part of that recruiting class from last season, renowned for his defensive abilities, but his batting last season was well, a bit regrettable, but really been a revelation this season, hitting .330.
Good pitch on the outside corner there. Makes the count 0-2 on Blomgren. As you mentioned, Blomgren struggled a bit at the plate last season, batting around that 200, 210 mark before coming into this season and really finding his own with that bat. At .330 coming into this game as he fouls off an 0-2 pitch. Back to the screen, and the count remains 0-2. And that's something that you started to see towards last season and seeing a lot more this season out of Blomgren. And that's kind of battling in counts where he falls behind. It looked almost overmatched when he first came in as a freshman, which you kind of expect here once you move up to the college level. But now very adept with the bat. And he grounds one over towards third base, backing out to make the play as Wasso. He makes a strong throw to first base and gets Blomgren by a half a step for out number 1.
Yeah, Blomgren's biggest weakness last season at the plate was his plate discipline. When he was able to get the bat on the ball, generally could hit it a little bit of a ways, not necessarily for home runs, but was capable of getting the odd extra base hit. But he didn't know when to swing and when not to swing, and you said it right. He has improved substantially.
Well, Jack Blomgren has a little pop. Just against Michigan State, he hits home runs. 1 home run last season against the Spartans. 1 home run this season, also came against the Spartans. Joe Donovan's been on a tear recently, speaking of home runs. 2 home runs in his last 2 ball games. He takes the first pitch outside for a ball 1-0. Second pitch to the at-bat is a swing that he fouls off back underneath the catcher, Wilson.
And Joe Donovan stepping in this season after the graduation of veteran catcher Brock Keener, and really has done quite well. Acquitted himself behind the bag with his defense and at the plate.
Former Cubs draft pick takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike 1-2. He had a 3-run homer against Michigan State back in last weekend's series. And then over here on Wednesday against Toledo, also went deep in that ball game. As he watches a 1-2 pitch miss low on the breaking ball. 1-2, or rather 2-2 is the count. And working quickly as Meyer. Here's a line drive right at the third baseman, Wassel. Joe Donovan did a good job there. It looked like he'd be out in front of the pitch and still got really good swing on it. But right at the third baseman for out number 2.
Well, Wassel has had to make 2 plays so far this inning, and he's done well on both of them. The ball coming straight at him. If that's a little bit to the right, that's an easy base hit into left field, and then making the throw over to first base to get Jack Blomgren as he was coming across the bag.
They don't call it the hot corner for nothing over there. Got to be ready at all times. Wassel was, and now K.O. Thomas steps in with 2 gone. Nobody on here in the second. Takes a first pitch ball inside.
And K.O. Thomas has had a disappointing season, to say the least. Of course, the senior has last year in Ann Arbor been a reliable leadoff man for a couple years now, but his average and on-base percentage have dropped through the floor.
Yeah, rough season for him. We don't know for sure, but injuries over the last couple of years may have really started to take its toll on Thomas. As a 2-0 pitch is in the inside corner for a strike. 2-1.
And K.O. Thomas, the only player in this Michigan lineup to have an on-base percentage of under 300. Actually, an only player to have an on-base percentage of under 350.
He hits one in the air towards left center field. Ranging over is both Smith and Mazinga, but the center fielder Mazinga fields it for out number 3 here. So good recovery inning from Max Meyer after giving up the home run in the first. He's allowed just 1 base runner to reach since those first couple batters of the game. And now, through 2 innings of play, Minnesota still down 1 to the Wolverines. It's 2-1 Michigan on the official student radio broadcast for Michigan baseball here on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and Meyer looks like he's settled in. You have to get to ace pitchers in the first couple innings if you're going to get to them at all. And to credit to Michigan, the Jordan Wogu and Jesse Franklin did just that in the first inning, getting some runs across. But Max Meyer looking now like he's settled into the game. Very easy 1-2-3 inning for the Gopher pitcher.
And worth noting, just 13 pitches that inning compared to 25 in the first for Meyer. Meanwhile, Tommy Henry coming in to this first one, or coming into this third inning, having thrown 20 pitches overall in the first 2. Pitch count just a little bit higher in that second one. Kind of hard not to be after you threw 4 pitches in the first. As the dugout out on the line doing their best driving range impression out there on that third baseline. Yeah. I love all the mid-inning warm-ups, keep guys warm, I guess, I believe is what the purpose of it is for Michigan.
Well, I'd imagine some of those guys actually have pretty decent golf swings. You're using the same muscles for baseball and golf. I know a guy, I once worked with a guy who played a little bit of semi-pro baseball, could swing a driver at the club head speed of about 140 miles an hour.
My coaches and dad would always tell me, though, during baseball season, no golf. It'll mess up your swing. Don't want to be rolling over the wrists in golf, whereas in baseball.
I don't disbelieve it.
Very much pivotal. Yeah. Got to keep that front shoulder. Got to keep your shoulders square.
I've seen that guy. Of course, baseball off season, he comes around and plays lots of golf. I've seen him drive the ball about 400 yards.
I couldn't do that. I'll say that myself.
Anybody's guess which direction it would go, but 400 yards.
Jack Wassel, the third baseman, steps in. Lefty bunts towards the left side. Donovan comes in, makes the play as Nelson actually. He throws to first. It gets past Kerr over there at first base. Wassel would have beaten it anyway. And that'll go down as what should be a leadoff single. It will indeed here in the third for Wassel on a good bunt.
And a couple Michigan players trying to make a case for base runners interference for Wassel to be called out. And that's the second time now in 3 innings that Minnesota has led off an inning against Tommy Henry with a bunt, and it almost worked for them the first time, and it worked for them this time. And Michigan's defense at the corner has really been a trouble spot for much of the season. Blake Nelson and Jimmy Kerr. Jimmy Kerr acquitted himself well in the last couple weeks, as well as Nelson, but they did not have a great start.
Yeah, really didn't have a chance on that one, did Nelson either. He made a quick play, but as you said, Wassel would have beat that out regardless. Made a wild throw, but didn't end up costing a base either. Stepping in will be the 9-hitter Riley Smith. Now he lays down a bunt, or tries to lay down a bunt. It pops up in the air near the Minnesota dugout. Sliding over near the dugout is Joe Donovan, but he's unable to make the play. So that'll be a strike on Smith.
And really, that's actually probably not a bad strategy. I know you're very anti-bunt, but Michigan's weak spot on the defense is the corners. If you can get bunts down and get them to slow trickle over to the corners, you can probably do some damage, especially, and you're probably more likely to do some damage than you are trying to line balls into the outfield.
Against Tommy Henry, yeah, especially with the bottom half of the lineup here. Smith coming in batting just 197 on the season. Not a whole lot of pop in the bat, just 3 extra base hits. The right-hander against the left-hander, Tommy Henry. Henry looks over the runner on first. The bunt is again popped up. This one's going to go all the way back over the screen and out of play. And nice grab over here by a fan.
Yeah,
Gets to take home a souvenir. It's 0-2 on Smith.
That was an excellent barehanded catch right there.
I'm ready today for a ball coming up to the booth. We just missed one on Wednesday's ball game. Went right over our heads over here, but it was right in line. We had one go in the press box a few windows down.
Should I open the window a little bit further?
I'm all for it. I think
okay.
the window stays open.
All right.
I'm ready. If one comes up here, we're just going to flash that window open and grab it, have a souvenir.
All right.
As Smith now swinging here, but taking the pitch and throw it on to first from Donovan. On the ball was outside. Ruled safe over there was Wassel. You hear the crowd up in arms. The throw was beat Wassel back to the bag over at first base.
That was close. That was very close, but Wassel, good job to get under Jimmy Kerr's initial tag and Kerr having to recover, but not in time.
Close play at first. Donovan almost had that back pick that he's been working on the past couple of weeks, throwing a lot over there to first base. Unable to get Wassel straight in, just a little bit off the bag there. And it's a 1-2 count on Smith as that pitch was outside. 1-2 pitch to him is foul off the end of the bat and back behind the screen, or back to the screen rather, and the count remains 1-2. Wassel's lead noticeably shorter on that one, specifically the secondary lead.
Learning his lesson.
May have gotten a little lucky there to slide in safely ahead of the tag. Henry stares in now, comes set at the stomach. Takes a quick glance over at first base. And now comes home with it. High fastball. It does not go around, does Smith. And the count's 2-2.
And that may have been another one, not a pitch out, but another high fastball to give Donovan the time. And of course, Wassel been aggressive so far at first base, and give Donovan an opportunity to throw to second if need be.
Wassel not terribly aggressive on the bases this season. 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts. Takes his lead, not going here as a swing and a miss on the fastball from Henry. Gets Smith at the plate for out number 1 here in the third.
And now Henry up to 4 strikeouts on the game. With the top of the order coming up, he has an opportunity to either get out of he can get out of this inning very quickly, induce a ground ball, or if he can induce a ground ball the same way, Mazinga bunted into one in his first time around. But if he can force another ground ball in the infield, can get out of this inning quickly again.
Gonna have to be a hard hit one as Mazinga has plenty of speed, the center fielder from Minnesota. Takes the first pitch high and in for a ball, 1-0. And Mazinga, the speedy leadoff center fielder. He's 9 for 11 on stolen bases this season. And we saw him almost beat out the bunt down to first base, in which Kerr was almost at the bag. Henry set now. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing on a bunt again, and bunting it right near the mound. Tommy Henry fields. Backhand flip with the bare hand for the out at first base. Nice play by Tommy Henry for out number 2.
And Minnesota being aggressive with the bunt so far, and to a certain degree they've done well with it. Mazinga almost got another hit. If things bounce a little bit differently, he's got 2 bunt singles today, but able to move Wassel over.
It was bunted near the right side of the rubber. Tough play for Tommy Henry. He was a lefty falling off near the left side of the mound. Had to sprint over near first, picked up with the bare hand, and backhanded over to Kerr, covering first base. That one's bunted a little bit harder. I think that finds that little Bermuda triangle out there between pitcher, second base, and first base. And, yeah, probably a hit there for Mazinga if he gets a little bit better contact on that one.
Right, an excellent play by Tommy Henry ranging over to make that play and the backhanded flip. not an easy play to make at all, particularly if you're a pitcher.
Bring up Eli Wilson now with a runner in scoring position over at second. Officially a sacrifice bunt for Ben Mazinga. So won't be charged with an at-bat. But Eli Wilson batting .303 on the season. Dangerous hitter here, runner in scoring position. He bats .400 on the year with runners in scoring position. First pitch fastball is at the belt for a strike, 0-1. Wilson flew out to right field back in the first. Lazy fly ball. Jordan Brewer was able to get underneath over in right center. Second pitch, the at-bat from Henry is fouled off the hands of Wilson and over near the right side. Counts 0-2. See a big strikeout here for Tommy Henry if he can get out of this inning after the leadoff single without allowing that runner to come around to score. Currently out at second base is Wassel. Henry comes set, checks Wassel at second base. Now fires the 0-2 pitch. Called! Strike 3 on the fastball for out number 3. That's, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts on the day for Tommy Henry. And he gets out of the third without allowing a run. Minnesota gets that leadoff single, can't get him around to score. And after 2.5 innings, the score remains Michigan 2, Minnesota 1 on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball.
And an excellent recovery by Tommy Henry there, giving up the leadoff bunt single and then strikeout, sacrifice, strikeout. Really done well.
Michigan will look to extend their lead again here in the third when they cycle back up to the top of the order. But as you mentioned, Tommy Henry, quick first inning, and that second inning gave up the leadoff homer and struck out the side afterwards. And then there in the third, gave up the leadoff single and strikeout, sacrifice, strikeout, just like you said. Getting out of jams to the extent that he's gotten himself into any sort of jams is Tommy Henry, and being efficient with it as well. Another just 12 pitches that inning as well. Really setting himself up to go deep in this ball game, which is always great. Not only just because of how good Tommy Henry is, if you're Michigan, you want him in the game longer, but on a Friday game of a 3-game series, to save all the arms in your bullpen and have them at full strength for the rest of the series is the key.
Yeah, of course, Saturday and Sunday, Michigan still has to play, and that'll be big if you're Michigan. You're able to save guys like Angelo Smith, Walker Cleveland, and Willie Weiss as long as you can.
We saw a couple of those names back on Wednesday, but should be available this weekend. As Max Meyer finishes up his warm-up throws and will face Jordan Wogu for the second time in this ball game, looking to have a little bit different of an outcome this time around. To lead off the bottom of the first for Michigan, Wogu went ahead in the count 3-0. Meyer was able to work it back full before Wogu lined a double into right center field.
And something to watch here is that Meyer will lead off the next inning as a batter for the Gophers.
Wogu now takes the first pitch from Meyer. Good pitch on the inside corner. It looked like the breaking ball to start things off. It's 0-1. Meyer, I said, works quickly, gets the ball back. He's immediately on the rubber, ready to throw, and he winds up for the 0-1 pitch. Another pitch on the inside corner there. Good location again, and it's 0-2.
And the inside corner now looking like Jordan Wogu's blind spot, and Meyer pitching to him a little bit more intelligently than he did the first time.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking ball, gets away from the catcher Wilson. He fields, throws on the first, high throw, but McDevitt grabs it and steps on the bag for out number 1. Second strikeout of the day there for Meyer. There's one gone here in the bottom of the third.
And that's big for Max Meyer, one of 3 Michigan players to get a hit off of him the first time around was Jordan Wogu, and able to get to him now. And now Jesse Franklin up with nobody on base.
Yeah, Franklin went deep in the first inning over to left field, the opposite field home run from the lefty. First pitch to him this at-bat is a off-speed pitch that's in the zone for strike 1. Has a big blow from Franklin in the first, currently the difference in the ball game with a 2-run score, and he grounds one down the right field line that gets just foul. That'll be strike 2, and he's down 0-2 for the second straight at-bat.
And you see that's very important for a pitcher, especially one like Max Meyer, who is pitching with a deficit. Need to be able to work quick at bats, and to start that, you need to start out 0-1, 0-2 counts.
Winding up now, 0-2 pitch to Franklin. Breaking ball in the dirt, nice block by Wilson, but Franklin doesn't chase, and the count's 1-2. And very much like his first at-bat, Franklin down the count 0-2. He worked it back to 2-2 before hitting that home run. A good eye at the plate for Franklin, and able to stay alive if he needs to. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball down at his feet, and he hops out of the way, does Franklin. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
All right, he's worked that 2-2 count again. See how Meyer attacks him this time.
I believe he went with the fastball after Franklin fouled a couple pitches off last at-bat. That was put over the left field wall. 2-2 this time. There's a breaking ball down and in. Check swing, appealed on the third. Did not go around, did Franklin. So he's run the count full, 3-2.
Well, I'm surprised that there was even the appeal over to third base, as it wasn't even close.
Better safe than sorry. We saw that back in the first with Jordan Brewer, who probably wanted an appeal. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses down in and again. Ball 4. So Franklin, after going down in the count 0-2, works the walk. And he's on first with 1 gone for the aforementioned Jordan Brewer.
And that's big, both in that they have a runner on base for Jordan Brewer, best power hitter on the team. But that also is damaging to a pitcher's confidence. Max Meyer had him on the ropes, 0-2, and then just let him walk.
4 straight balls. He refused to give him that fastball again after he really just kept going back to the breaking ball, trying to get us chase, and Franklin wouldn't do it. Now he's got the favorable righty-righty matchup now, does Meyer. The first pitch to Brewer is a breaking ball that misses low and away, 1-0. Very similar to the pitch you got Brewer to swing and miss on, or check swing and miss back in the first. Franklin at first base, slipping on the almost sliding hand protector over there. It's a pitch on the inside corner to Brewer, catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Franklin just 3 for 3 on stolen base attempts this season, which is good for a lot of players, but the Michigan lineup is fairly standard. Very aggressive team. He fakes going here before the 1-1 pitch is thrown and swung at and missed by Brewer off the outside corner. Actually got a piece of it on the foul tip, rules Perry Costello. And the count's 1-2.
Brewer getting a little overambitious there, and that looked like it was coming on the inside. One, he would be able to power over to left field, but breaking away to the right. A fantastic pitch by Meyer.
Meyer's got looks to be that good slider running away from righties as Franklin fakes going over to second base and forces Meyer to throw over. Get time called over at first, as I don't know if Jesse Franklin hurt himself a little bit diving back in. He's got to walk it off for a second. Maybe an ankle. Twisted it up, maybe, trying to dive back in.
He's not really limping. Maybe bent his wrist a little bit. Just trying to walk it off.
And we'll resume now with a 1-2 count. Franklin shorter lead this time around. 1-2 pitch to Brewer is swung at and just getting a piece of it, fouling it off the catcher Wilson, and Wilson's in pain behind the plate after that one.
Well, I think, not sure, but I think Brewer tipped it off, and that may have hit Wilson in the thigh.
I'm not sure it was the thigh. It was on the right side, maybe the throwing arm. It's unprotected over there. Either way, he got Wilson. He rolled around in pain for a second, now pops back up. Perry Costello walked out to the mound to deliver that ball to Meyer out there. And now we're ready to resume here with a 1-2 pitch. A couple of guys getting banged up here over the last couple pitches. Franklin takes his lead over at first. Meyer checks him. And now the pitch home, 1-2 again. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Rather, another foul tip. Jordan Brewer unable to make solid contact the entire time in that at-bat. He strikes out for the second time today. There's 2 gone here in the third.
And Jordan Brewer is mad at that, mad at himself, really. Swinging on that pitch. Same one that he fell for that he managed to tip away. Started on the inside, falling outside. It was that slider once again from Max Meyer.
That'll bring up Miles Lewis, who popped out in foul territory over to first base back in the first inning. We're going to keep the Wolverines alive here in the third with 2 gone and a runner on first. Takes the first pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Nice stop by Wilson to keep Franklin out of scoring position. The count's 1 ball, no strikes. Lewis coming into this game today batting a solid .330 on the year. Pickoff throw over to first, chases Franklin back diving. He's in there safely. Lewis on the 1-0 pitch fouls it off to the right side and out of play. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike on the Wolverine left fielder.
And Miles Lewis, one of the better hitters in the lineup, hitting .327, but really not one that you hear talked about a whole lot. He's the only, even though he's the only switch hitter on the team, been in the team a long time.
He was switch hitter, listed as a switch hitter for all intents and purposes, but is batted exclusively from the right side this season as he fouls one off to the left side, and it bounces into the Michigan bullpen. Counts 1-2. The redshirt senior out of Hudson, Wisconsin. Not too far away from these Golden Gophers up in Minnesota. You know, you always that Wisconsin-Minnesota rivalry up there. Something Miles Lewis most likely knows a thing or two about. 1-2 pitch to him is swung and fouled off his foot at the plate. Bounced into fair territory, but immediately called foul by Perry Costello at the plate, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And still another battle at the plate for Miles Lewis, and even if it doesn't show up in the score or the hits, that does take a toll on the starting pitcher, Max Meyer, now brushing up against 60 pitches here through not even 3 innings.
This next pitch will be number 57 on the day for Meyer. He checks Franklin at first, now comes home and fouled over off to the right side, out of play yet again. And the count remains 1-2 on Lewis.
And the battle continues.
Lewis, like a lot of Wolverines in this lineup, very capable of putting together long at-bats, staying alive, good eyes at the plate as well. As Meyer gets set for another 1-2 pitch. A half swing there, and it's fouled off the Minnesota dugout. You heard this smack up against the railing there.
Yeah, and I think Lewis had initially intended to lay off, but quickly decided to swing at it as that one looked like it was going to end up in the zone, and in desperation able to stay alive.
Just hanging in there. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat coming up to him. And it's on its way. Hit in the air towards center field. Going back near the track now is Mazinga, but he's able to make the grab just in front of the warning track in right center field for out number 3. Good contact on that one from Lewis after a long at-bat, but Michigan strands the runner at first here in the 3rd inning. And after 3 innings worth of play, the score remains Michigan Wolverines 2, Minnesota Golden Gophers 1. You're listening to the official student radio broadcast for Michigan baseball here on WCBN Sports. As Nick Hornberg will pop off here, take a couple innings off, and we'll bring in Andy Laidlaw, the 3rd member of our crew today, for the next. Really, Andy will be here to take you home the rest of the way, along with myself and Nick Hornberg. Thank you for listening in today on WCBN Sports. We got all the games this weekend, and we try to get you every single game that they play here at Ray Fisher Stadium. Also might be traveling a little bit near the end of the season when Michigan moves outside of Ann Arbor, but the rest of the weekend we do have those games for sure for you. If you're listening here on WCBN Channel 1 on our YouTube station, you can find us there tomorrow as well. And follow our Twitter for our update on which channel will be on Sunday. It'll either be on WCBN Sports here or our alternate channel, WCBN Sports 2. You can follow both of those on YouTube. You can even click the little notification bell, find out when we go live here with some Michigan sporting events. I know today we've got here on Channel 1 Michigan baseball across the way at Alumni Field. Michigan softball should be getting underway in about 10 minutes or so as well. That's on Channel 2.
Yeah, talk about this whole facility here at Michigan. They got the baseball right here, softball right across the center field fence. There's a lot going on here at Michigan. It's really exciting with both baseball and softball teams being very competitive. It's an exciting time for spring. The weather's starting to pick up. The Wolverines, both teams are starting to get going. So, I'm very fortunate to be a Wolverine during the spring.
Yeah, hot teams on both sides of this facility. Michigan coming in winning 6 straight baseball games. Over on the softball field, even hotter than that, they've won 12 in a row, including a drubbing this past Wednesday. They beat Toledo by a score of 24-3.
Yeah, that is a brutal ball game there for the Toledo Rockets. It can be very tough to play in.
Meanwhile, here at Ray Fisher Stadium,
Tommy Henry here delivers a first pitch because of strike 1 to Max Meyer, the pitcher. Very, very odd. We were talking about that earlier. A starting pitcher who is also a 3-hitter. Very, very fortunate. It's not that he's a bad 3-hitter. He's a good hitter. Batting .312 on this season. Tommy Henry comes, delivery, fires, and looks like a breaking ball. Just missed outside, come to a 1-1 count.
And Henry has that lefty-lefty matchup. The 3 times we've seen the lefty-lefty matchup favor Henry today.
Yep.
All 3 times Minnesota squared around a bunt. I don't know if they just really don't have faith in that tough matchup for their hitters right now, including Meyer, who's a good hitter at the plate, as you mentioned.
Henry delivers. Line ball out to center field. And it looks like Franklin's going to get it. Out number 1 for the Minnesota Gophers as Tommy Henry is continuing to show command so far. Outside that little home run he gave up to Bertrand, he's really showed a lot of poise here. He's got a couple strikeouts. He's sitting at 4, I believe, right now. A guy who's a big lefty and a dominant lefty. You see Minnesota, they laid down a lot of bunts. They had 3 or 4 bunts rolling down, and they're really trying to get these rounds up against Henry, and Henry showed very good command so far.
And you saw in that one induce that little inside-out swing from Meyer, and Franklin, nice play, got a good jump on the ball after a fairly weaker line drive to center field, had to run in and slide after making the grab.
Yeah, talk about the guy hit the home run back in the 2nd inning. Easton Bertrand is up. First pitch, Henry delivers a fastball for strike 1. You know, we were talking about Henry, or you and Nick were talking about Henry earlier. He's a guy who has a very, very fast, fastball, but he does. He has that great bender curveball that can really throw off any hitter. He's coming here with the 0-1.
Man, good to keep it in on the hands of Bertrand, too,
absolutely.
not get the big guy able to extend.
0-1 exactly there. In the hands, little inside. Count's going to go to 1-1. Yeah, Tommy Henry, a guy who has just been so excellent this series. Only loss coming against a very, very good Texas Tech team. Coming here in a big-time play. He pitched very well against Michigan State. Coming here against a Minnesota team who's also very good. You're going to have to see good numbers continuing from Tommy Henry. He's coming again with a 1-1. Fastball inside. Counts can go to 2-1. Guy like Bertrand here also is a right-handed hitter. We talked about it earlier. A lot of right-handed hitters in this Minnesota Gopher lineup. Tough for a guy like Tommy Henry. You would expect him to get that 2-seamer rolling, trying to get fastballs to tilt to the outside. But he really hasn't shown a lot of his bender either. He's been really trying to command that fastball.
Yeah, and staying in here, like I said, on Bertrand, all 3 pitches have been on the or near that inside corner.
Comes again, 2-1. Looks like he threw a little bender inside, 3-1. Falling behind here on Easton Bertrand, a guy who's got a lot of power. Leads the Minnesota team with 5 home runs on the season. So you can't afford to fall behind the count to this guy. He's 3-1. You're going to have to throw a pitch right down the middle. And Easton Bertrand, like you showed today, very easy to take that ball out of the park.
I'd expect to see him go back inside here. A 6-4, don't let him extend.
He does that, but it misses inside. And first walk today for Tommy Henry's. Easton Bertrand is on again. Giving Tommy Henry's a lot of difficult. You know, he's a guy who's really worked the count well. And on his first at-bat, third pitch, took Bertrand, or took Henry deep. Bertrand, a guy who's had a couple very good at-bats here for the Minnesota Gophers. Due up now is Jordan Kazicki, the shortstop for the Minnesota Gophers. His first at-bat suffered that 3 straight K after Henry gave up that home run. He came bounce back, gave up 3 strikeouts, and Kazicki was the first victim. As Henry comes set. Delivers looks like a breaking ball inside. Again, 5th straight ball for Tommy Henry. Falls behind the count again early, 1-0. A guy, Tommy Henry, you cannot fall count early. You have to get that first pitch strike. It's so critical for big-time pitchers and really any kind of pitcher to get ahead in the count, and he falls again behind Jordan Kazicki, 1-0.
Yeah, Kazicki's got plenty of power, too, so maybe trying to go back inside against him as well.
Fastball comes here, 1-1. Kazicki fouled off into the Wolverine dugout. You're talking about Kazicki's power. You look at the guy, you wouldn't think he's a big home run hitter. He's really, really thin. He's a small dude, but yeah, you can tell he's got good hands, good hips. He swings his hips around. He's got a good swing, and you can definitely tell that's where his home run numbers come from. He's sitting at 4 home runs and hitting .295 on the season. A guy you definitely don't want to pitch you with runners on base. As Tommy Henry comes set, he delivers, and a fastball in the zone. Tommy Henry evens up the count at 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch there by Henry after a couple breaking balls to start the at-bat. One for the ball, one had Kazicki out in front, then painted that inside corner with the fastball. Probably going to stay low, probably going to stay inside, away from the power of Kazicki, but also trying to induce a ground ball if he can get out of this inning with the runner on first.
You're seeing Aku Thomas kind of playing in double play depth, a little bit over second base as Henry delivers inside pitch. Says he hit him. And it looks like Jordan Kazicki's going to get first base on a hit by pitch. A really weird play. It must have been one of those scenarios where it hits a batter's shirt because Joe Donovan caught it, didn't look like it hit him. Definitely was an inside pitch as Gazicki is rewarded with a hit by pitch. And Tommy Henry here in a tough situation, first and second with one out. Coming up to play is Cole McDivitt. He can't afford, again, to fall behind in the count. You got to deliver those first pitch strikes. Tommy Henry got the first pitch strike in the first at-bat. Second bat did not and really couldn't bounce back. So we got first and second here with one out. Infield fly rule is in effect. So Tommy Henry, if you get here, they're talking about it earlier, you can roll a double play. That'd be huge for the Wolverines.
And getting that part of the lineup that he absolutely dominated with the strikeouts back in the second inning of this one. Yeah,
Cole McDivitt, or Tommy Henry, again, struggling early in the count. Fastball high, 1-0 count to McDivitt, a guy who's been very good for the Gophers as well, hitting a .299 with 4 home runs as well. So, again, this is the 3-4-5 part of the lineup that you do not want to mess with. With a 1-0 count, he's falling behind here again. He's got to deliver a fastball.
Yeah, big lead over at first base by Kozicki, too. Staring over at the runner, Bertrand, ready to get a good jump.
And it looks like Joe Donovan snaps it down to first base, and he is safe. Kozicki is safe at first. Yeah, you're talking about it. It was really weird to see Kozicki kind of, he's taking those steps out, but he's looking at second base. Really, it's almost a mistake for a base runner. You always want to look at the pitcher. So, yeah, Joe Donovan definitely keeping him honest, sharp, threw it down to first base, and he was safe. But that's a play you got to make as a catcher, make the base runner be aware, keep him honest.
Maybe lost in that, though. Another high fastball from Tommy Henry, losing command of that. He had such good command of that fastball early on. If he starts to go, could be vulnerable.
Here comes 2-0, and he's swing and miss. Right down the middle. There he goes. Finally, Tommy Henry getting a pitch in the zone. But like I said, you fall behind 2-0, 2-1. You can't afford to do that. You're going to have to throw a pitch over the middle, and Henry does there. And fortunately for the Wolverines, McDivitt swings and misses.
And Henry's got enough movement, even on his fastball that has that good velocity, has enough movement on it to really get hitters to swing through it at times, as we saw right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, a pitcher like him, he can afford to throw curveballs down in the count. He delivers a fastball here outside, 3-1. Again, Tommy Henry falling behind to a guy in McDivitt who hit .270 on the season. You can't afford, especially 3-0-6 with runners in scoring position. You do not want to fall behind in this guy. 3-1, you think he's got to throw a fastball here again, Austin, don't you?
You would think, but the way that the fastball has not been able to be located in this at-bat, in this inning from Henry, wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a bender try to get over the plate.
A pitcher like Henry who is good enough he can make that pitch down the count. He comes here, delivers, ball 4 as Tommy Henry is going to walk the bases. You would think manager, and up here comes the pitching coach, going to take a mound visit, try to calm down Tommy Henry, who's really struggled so far in this inning. He's got a walk, a hit by pitch, and another walk. Really uncharacteristic for a guy in Tommy Henry. He's one of the best pitchers in the Big Ten.
Yeah, maybe Chris Fetter, pitching coach from Michigan, sees something that Henry's just missing. Yep. He's missing high, at least in that last at-bat with the fastball, after missing a little bit inside. The fastball command wasn't necessarily gone the previous couple of at-bats when he was trying to pound the inside corner and was just missing by a couple inches or so. But now noticeable, not even close to the zone.
And fortunately for a guy like Tommy Henry, he does throw really hard. When you're falling behind the count, high velocity pitchers really have a good capability of getting a lot of swing and misses because they throw so hard. But Henry's also got that breaking ball that works. But if you can't set up that breaking ball by not throwing strikes with your fastball, it's very, very difficult. And we're seeing that a lot here with Tommy Henry in this 4th inning. He does not have command of his fastball, and he's not up in counts, so he can't use that great curveball he has and also a great slider he has. As due up for the Minnesota Gophers, second baseman Zach Raby coming here with the bases loaded, prime position here to get a base knock and try to even this game up or even take the lead as Henry delivers. Fastball again, high and away, falling behind the count for the 3rd straight batter. Tommy Henry's 1-0.
If Henry wasn't so wild with that fastball right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Minnesota maybe try to pull out a squeeze play of some sort.
And we've seen that a lot. If they squared around 3 times for a bunt, I would not doubt they do it again. As Henry comes set, delivers home, and it is a breaking ball high. Tommy Henry, again, not finding much command in either his fastball or the curveball. The curveball, he did not snap it down. He left it hanging. Fortunately, it hung too much. It wasn't the strike zone for Raby to really do some damage with it as he falls behind here 2-0.
Yeah, I think maybe just the release point for Tommy Henry, just high, maybe a little bit wide at this point as well. Just got to be able to kind of correct that on your own mid-inning here for Tommy Henry. There's nothing really the pitching coach can do to you other than
absolutely
tell you to figure it out.
Henry delivers here, fastball high, and right over the plate, swing and miss. 2-1 for Tommy Henry. Zach Raby really liked that pitch 2-0. It's a hitter's count. You want to deliver get a strike on a 2-0 pitch and left it right on the plate, but fortunately he swings and misses.
That was about belt high, maybe a little bit above. A good pitch to entice Raby at the very least.
Absolutely.
As I said, the fastball from Tommy Henry's got enough movement on it to do swing and misses.
Again, swing and miss again. 2-2. Tommy Henry throws a fastball in the low outside corner. Very good location. Finally, that's the command you usually want to see from Tommy Henry.
And that looked like a good two-seamer that started off on the outside corner and kind of started fading away from Raby. Had him swinging, pulling off of it a little bit. Another good pitch there. See if he can string together 3 in a row here.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're a lefty-righty matchup, you really got to work those tailing away pitches. And Tommy Henry delivered a brilliant pitch there. Comes 2-2. He comes set. He delivers. Ground ball, high chopper to first base. Not much of a play as he is safe at first base, and a run scores for the Gophers, tying up the ball game 2-2.
That's just an unlucky circumstance there with the turf at Ray Fisher Stadium. Got Raby to pound the ball into the ground, but he had to pound it straight down into the ground, so it bounced up before it could get to Kerr. And Henry a little bit slow covering first base as well. Didn't have a play over there. By the time Kerr even fielded the ball, the other 3 runners were safe as well. So just unlucky there, and this ball game's all tied up at 2.
Yep. Due next for the Minnesota Gophers, third baseman Jack Wessel, number 30, a guy who's in his first at-bat, struggled a little bit. He's got a single. So here the bases loaded again in their prime position. Tommy Henry's got to get up in the count early. Hopefully he can get that first base strikes as he comes, delivers, and a foul ball off to the left side behind the third base dugout as Donovan had to play for it but did not make it. Excuse me, not Donovan, Jimmy Kerr. No, excuse me, Blake Nelson. Blake Nelson, that's 3 times, but foul ball, kind of tailed away there. Good for Tommy Henry, gave a high fastball there. Fouled it off, get ahead of the count. That's a big hit for Tommy Henry, a guy who's not done that very well this inning.
And really no wind today to speak of to push a ball even more out of play than it already was. That one was headed out of play, but again, good by Nelson to at least have a beat on it for a second.
As Tommy Henry comes set and delivers a fastball that looked good. May have been a little low as the count goes to 1-1 on Wessel. A pitch that did look good, and it looked knee-high. It looked right in the inner third. Called it a ball as he evens the count up at 1-1.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been missed a little bit low. Wessel, 6'2", redshirt sophomore out of Geneva, Illinois. Maybe just a little bit too low for the tall lefty.
Yep. He comes set. He delivers. Fly ball, line out right to right field, right by Jordan Brewer. Tagging coming home. And an off throw misses a cutoff and needs to be safe at home plate as the Minnesota Gophers play another run. Take the lead here in the top of the 4th, 3-2.
Yeah, and Jordan Brewer had a shot there for a second, but based on where that ball was hit, he was moving over towards the line, had to grab it, plant on his back foot, and throw home. Didn't get as much as we've seen him get on some other throws. I know he threw out a base runner at third base for a double play a couple of weeks ago against San Jose State. Here, just not quite able to get enough on the throw. One hopper to home, a little bit off. Might have actually got him if it was a perfect throw on the line, like exactly where it needed to be, but you can't really expect that on that play.
Very tough at line out. It's hard to get behind the ball. It gets momentum going to home plate. Miss Kerr on the cutoff. So here again, first and second, 2 outs. Nelson comes set. Be a fly ball. In foul territory, it looks like it, and it's going to be caught by Jimmy Kerr for the 3rd out. Big, really out there for Tommy Henry. First and second, 2 outs. Very, very big play as the Wolverines get out of it, but not a great inning for the Wolverines. Minnesota plates 2, takes the lead here, going into the bottom of the 4th. Minnesota has the lead 3-2.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse for the Wolverines also. The bases were loaded there with just 1 gone in the inning, and almost best case scenario in that case. You expect at least 1 run to score. Minnesota happy with 2, I'd imagine.
Especially on a guy like Tommy Henry, who's been so dominant all year. You're not going to get a lot of pitches where you're going to skirt up and really drive it hard in the outfield. You know, Bertrand had that 1 home run he hit, but that inning was a perfect scenario. You can't fall behind early in the count. You can't walk guys. You can't hit guys. Otherwise, you're going to give up runs. And that's exactly what Tommy Henry did there in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, exactly. The bases were loaded, and Minnesota hadn't put a bat in the ball in that entire sequence. The line out to start the inning, and then from there on, it was, as you mentioned, walk, hit by pitch, walk to load things up, and you're just asking for trouble when you do that.
Yeah, another marking of good teams. How can they respond to really bad innings for the for your team? Do up the inning for the Wolverines is Blake Nelson, Jimmy Kerr, and Jack Blomberg, all very capable hitters, all guys who are hitting over 300, except for Jimmy Kerr, 263. But of late, Jimmy Kerr has been very dominant. So this is a prime spot for the Wolverines to take back those 2 runs that they just gave up.
And really, something about the Wolverines lineup. I know we're talking about it. Owen Swenson and I were talking a bit on Wednesday about it. Just a very deep lineup, and no matter where you're starting an inning, you almost feel confident if you're the Wolverines that you're going to be able to scratch a couple across if you need to. Yeah, and that's certainly the case even starting here with 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, when you have a guy like Jack Blondum as your 7-hitter, hitting over 300, hitting at 330, you got to be very confident in the depth of your lineup. And the guy in Ako Thomas, who has struggled this year, has shown in previous years that he can't hit the ball. He's been a very good leadoff for the Wolverines. So it's going to be big here for the Wolverines to see if they can bounce back. Coming up to the plate, Blake Nelson delivers the ground ball to shortstop. Easy play there. Candy hop throws it to first, and Blake Nelson is out. First pitch, first out for the Wolverines.
And nice play there by Kozicki. Thought about charging in, but realized he was going to get that nice hop on this turf. Stayed back on it, fielded, had plenty of time to catch Nelson over there at first base.
Yep, big start for the inning for Max Meyer, a guy who really struggled through a lot of pitches in the first inning, getting a first pitch, first out for the Wolverines. Coming up for the Wolverines right now, Jimmy Kerr, a guy who we were talking about earlier, has been really hitting the ball very well of late. Had a great weekend at MSU as he takes the first pitch outside. Really has been finding his groove on the plate, and here down 3-2, you got to get him get on base with 1 out.
Even back in the first inning, he had a nice line drive to right field. Just was able to hang up just long enough for Bertrand to go over and range over and make that grab.
Yeah, as Meyer delivers fastball right on the plate, Jimmy Kerr swings and misses. The count here now is at 1-1.
If Kerr can get a good swing on the ball, Meyer seems to be attacking him low, but Kerr has a really good swing to golf 1 out.
Absolutely. As Meyer delivers a fastball a little outside, moving the count to 2-1. Again, Jimmy Kerr, a lefty hitter, a guy who's hitting 5 home runs, 3rd on the Wolverine ball club. Really a righty-lefty matchup. If he can leave that fastball inside or low and inside like lefties like, he can do a lot with it. He does exactly that, fastball low and inside, but Jimmy Kerr fouls it away. Count moving now to 2-2.
Well, that one might have been a little bit ahead there. Jimmy Kerr was a little bit ahead of that ball. Just try to get the bat head in just a little bit longer in the zone, got it off the end of the bat and fouled it to the right side. But, yeah, certainly in a spot that Kerr would like.
Yep. The count rolls 2-2. Looks at Myers. Coming in his windup. He delivers, and he gets Kerr swinging. Strike 3.
That's just a great pitch there from Meyer. The breaking ball moving a little bit low and in on Kerr, and really didn't stand a chance when there's that much movement on it against the lefty bearing down and in on you. Yeah, really tough for really a lot of left-handed hitters. When they typically left-handed hitters really love inside, low and inside pitches, but it looked like he gave a little cut action. Meyer did there, and it came in high and in. That's a very tough pitch to hit. Do it for the Wolverines shortstop, Jack Blomgren. Takes the first pitch a little low. Get ahead of the count, 1-0. Again, just like Tommy Henry last inning, Max Meyer on 2 or 3 of these at-bats. First pitch ball. Besides really first at-bat where first pitch, got a ground out. He comes delivered here again, and it's 1-1 count. Fastball low and away. Very good pitch. Yeah, and that's the difference. Tommy Henry last inning compounded those first pitch balls by throwing more balls.
Yeah.
Here in this inning, Max Meyer immediately responding with that good pitch on the outside corner.
Yeah, Jack Blomgren, a guy hitting 326. We're talking about a 7-hitter. You've got to love what he can do. As he looks at a pitch right down the plate, 1-2 count. He doesn't like it, but it sure looked good from up here.
I think he thought it was a little bit up out of the zone, but nonetheless, you're not going to see many better pitches than these fastballs here that you're getting from Meyer, especially when he's locating, and now the 1-2, he's got that breaking ball, that good slider in his pocket.
And we might see that 1-2 slider come here as he throws a fastball high, misses, 2-2. Yeah, Jack Blomgren, me and you were on a call for that long Manhattan ball game here. What was it, 23-2 final? But Jack Blomgren, that game was, 5 for 5, 6 for 6.
He had himself a ball game.
Incredible game. So, that was one of the games where he boosted his stats. As the pitch comes here, he flies up right to second base, and it looks like Raby's going to be under it. Nope, right fielder takes it, Bertrand, and out number 3 for the Wolverines. Very commanding inning for Max Meyer as we go into the top of the 5th. Wolverines falling behind the scoreboard 3-2. This is WCBN Sports, the official student radio account of Michigan baseball.
Yeah, and a great inning there from Max Meyer to recover a quick inning as well, which is key for him. He mentioned he was getting up there, and pitch count was a little bit over 60, I believe, after last inning, or hovering around 60 after last inning. Able to get out of that one with just 11, if my count's correct here. So great for Minnesota. if you want Max Meyer going deep in this ball game, which you do as your best pitcher on
sure.
the staff Friday,
for sure.
obviously.
A guy who he's thrown 70 pitches. You just knocked the 70 mark, but as a guy who pitches and hits, it's really hard for these pitchers to get in rhythm when they're hitting. You don't see that a lot, especially in Division I baseball. So it's good for him to get a quick inning, get in and out, as I believe he's coming up third in this inning to lead off is the center fielder, Ben Mazinga, who is really a speedster. He's laid down 2 bunts, and 2 bunts that weren't very good, especially the first one. It came right back to Henry, but he almost beat it out. So you can tell it's a guy who has a lot of speed, who is 9-11 on stealing attempts. So
yeah, both times just a little bit off. I think the first bunt was down the first base line. That if he bunts it just slightly softer, probably beats it out and gets a hit. And then when the last inning, he ended up getting a sacrifice bunt on it back in the third, actually.
Yeah.
And on that one, if he bunts it a little bit harder, he gets a base hit out of it. So
and that was definitely an interesting play. It doesn't seem like Mazinga was going down for a sac bunt. He wanted to bunt for a base hit. A guy who's incredibly fast. Usually, I mean, with the way baseball is evolving, you don't see a lot of guys, sac bunt with 1 out. So you can definitely tell Mazinga is going for, a bunt for a hit as he comes up here in the top of the 5th. And I'm very curious to see what he's going to do. He's a lefty-lefty matchup, so we'll see if he can get ahead of Tommy Henry, who's looking to bounce back from an inning where he struggled, didn't have great command. Here in the lefty matchup, if you get a fastball early, you can afford to break that curveball and slider, tailing away from a left-handed hitter. As it looks like something's going on here. Oh, looks like somebody was out there on third base, home plate umpire. He's actually done a very good job today, Perry Costello. Besides that one call earlier in the first inning with Jordan Brewer where it was Jordan Woku who had a check swing and he didn't appeal on the first base. A very weird play. But besides that, done very well. As Henry comes in his windup, he delivers that breaking ball, but missed it high again. Not snapping that breaking ball down like Tommy Henry usually does, as he falls behind the count 1-0.
Yeah, missing high again here. Not a great start to the inning. He really needs to bounce back, does Tommy Henry, in this one.
Yeah, especially in the heart of the lineup. You're top of the lineup. You cannot afford to fall behind as a guy Mazinga who can make you pay. He comes set here and fastball low and away, falls behind 2-0. Tommy Henry really not in a good rhythm here for the Wolverines.
And now his release point's just kind of all over the place right now, not locating any of his pitches at the moment. Not something we've seen a lot out of Tommy Henry this season, but I'm sure something that he is capable of correcting and will look to do so here.
And comes in a set, and there's going to be a fly ball down left field line and foul. As Tommy Henry finally delivers a strike here in this at-bat to Ben Mazinga. Falling behind 2-1, but yeah, you're talking about it. You're very curious to see the pitching coach this inning if he continues to fall behind and make another mound of his. And guy Tommy Henry's got a .76 ERA coming into this game, really struggling here in the 4th and 5th inning. As he comes into his windup, he delivers. And a fastball away, just missed. He falls behind 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, Ben Mazinga. He can't afford to do that.
And I know that one's a miss. It's off the plate. It's a ball, but much closer than the misses we saw Tommy Henry last inning and early on in this one. A somewhat encouraging sign, even if it is a ball off the plate away. It's a chaseable pitch at the very least.
Unfortunately, a 2-1 count like that, you're going to have to deliver a pitch that's going to be swingable. And he delivers here, and he delivers a pitch that is swingable. Goes in for a strike. Full count here to Ben Mazinga. And, yeah, you were talking about it. Yeah, the fastball away. 2-1, that's a very good pitch if you're up 1-2. But down 2-1, you're going to have to deliver a strike. And he does there on that 2-2 pitch. Or sorry, the 3-1 pitch, excuse me. As he's coming set here with a full count to Ben Mazinga, center fielder. Here he comes. Comes into his windup. He delivers. Fastball to the left field, and Ben Mazinga is going to fly out to Lewis out there in left field. Big out for the Wolverines. Big out for a guy like Ben Mazinga. You don't want him to get on base. And Tommy Henry gets that first out. Battles back, down 3-1. Gets a big line out to left field.
I thought Mazinga was going to have himself a leadoff single there. A little looping liner that just hung up long enough for Lewis to come over and make that grab. Off the bat, definitely looked like it was going to find some of that turf.
Yeah, and really this Wolverine defensive lineup has been very, very stellar, especially this outfield. And this outfield has been very strong arms as Tommy Henry comes his wind up. Fastball, low and in, grounds out to third base. Delivers an out at one. As Nelson delivers a great strike to Kerr for the second out. Eli Wilson. Here comes the pitcher, Max Meyer, a guy that we're talking about, really complete ball player, hitting .304, coming up here with 2 outs for the Minnesota Gophers.
And just a one-pitch at-bat there to Eli Wilson. A great sign for Tommy Henry. Located that fastball low and in. Got him to swing on it and pound it into the ground right to his third baseman, Nelson, who was able to make the play.
Yep, very quick inning here so far for Henry. Very quick second at bat. Here he comes in with 2 outs to Max Meyer. He comes in his windup. He delivers. Fastball high and in. Meyer had to back away a little bit as he falls behind the count once again. 1-0 to the pitcher, Max Meyer.
A little limbo lower now from Max Meyer backing out there.
Flexibility from your pitcher out there. He's definitely comfortable in the batter's box. He's, like I said, a guy batting 304 on the season. Here 1-0. You can't afford to fall behind. And he delivers a strike. 1-1 on a very, it looks like a high pitch. It looked good from up here. 2-0. He threw a bender. And it's going to fall behind 2-0.
Look at the breaking ball. Just didn't quite break far enough down. Stayed up above the zone.
Yeah, you see the Wolverines with a little bit of a shift. You see Blomgren really over second base. Definitely playing to this lefty as Hemi comes in. And another fastball high. Another pitch that was very borderline. Looked good, but Tommy Henry falls behind the count 3-0.
Yeah, that breaking ball looked like it missed high. That fastball, I think, might have been very close to the belt. Didn't get the benefit of the doubt there from Costello, given how wild Henry's been in the last couple innings.
It's a very good point here. Down 3-0 in the count. He's going to have to deliver a strike. Very curious to see if Minnesota doesn't give Meyer the green light, as it doesn't matter. She throws a high fastball away as he walks Meyer on 4 straight pitches. And really, you didn't want to see a guy in Easton Bertrand come up who is due up right now, hit that early home run in the second inning. You don't want to see that guy on with runners on.
Yeah, the home run back in the second to open the scoring for Minnesota, and then walked and came around to score again in the fourth, the second run of the ball game. He scored twice already. He's 2/3 of the Gophers that have come across the plate and really looked very comfortable against Tommy Henry, which you don't normally see out of batters.
Oh, absolutely. And he's a lefty-righty matchup. That's what he wants. Batting 286, and he's coming here really hitting Tommy Henry well as Henry delivers a fastball. Again, looks close, but called a ball as Henry falls behind again. 1-0. Not seeing a lot of first pitch strikes from Tommy Henry, even though a pitcher looked very close.
Yeah, Bertrand's up there at 6'4", and that one had to have been not much higher than that belt.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked good. Again, 3 pitches that have been about maybe belly button high. It could have been called a strike as Henry delivers his 2-0. That one definitely was high as he falls behind 2-0. Not seeing the typical Tommy Henry delivering and showing good poise. He's not throwing a lot of strikes here.
Yeah, when you're down in the ball game, now down in the count as well for Tommy Henry, you got to balance attacking hitters and trying to get out of innings and get deep in the ball game, but also just you have to locate around the corners, and you can't nibble too much here, as much as you'd like to against Bertrand.
Absolutely. Henry comes set 2-0. Throws a fastball high and in, and he misses again, falling behind 3-0 to Easton Bertrand, a guy who you can't afford to fall behind. This is their Minnesota's 4-hitter. When you're down the count, you're going to have to deliver strikes, and you're going to have to make Minnesota swing. And unfortunately, when you do that, you leave pitches over the plate, and really, Tommy Henry's that's been the disadvantage here so far. He's falling behind the count. He has to throw these strikes right on the plate.
Yeah, 3-0 here. Wouldn't expect to see anything too good.
No.
Probably trying to paint that outside corner.
As he delivers a fastball high and away, he walks his second hitter on 8 straight pitches as Tommy Henry is not really in control. And here comes the Michigan pitching coach. Again, to make a mound visit. Maybe he's trying to relax Tommy Henry. Really haven't seen him. I don't want to say he's unraveling right now, but he's definitely not showing the control and the command that he usually does.
And it's such a difference from even the first couple innings when he seemed to be pinpointing especially that fastball. And since the fastball command has really left him in the last couple innings, Henry seems to be losing the command of just about everything. And when you use that fastball to establish early on in at-bats and early on in ball games that you're able to locate it, and then you lose that later on, it just shifts the balance even more in favor of the hitters. They don't have to worry about that fastball as much. Don't have to worry about catching up to what's normally up there in the low to mid-90s from Tommy Henry, and can almost sit on those softer pitches that are going to make their way into the zone at some point.
Up to plate for the Minnesota Gophers, shortstop Jordan Kazicki, a guy who in the second inning struck out, in the fourth inning had that weird hit by pitch where it looked like it barely snagged him on the shirt. He comes up here with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs as Henry delivers. Throws a strike, and it's going to be popped up. Donovan might have a play, and it looks like it's going to go into the crowd. Foul ball. Good first pitcher by Tommy Henry. Finally, maybe he got a little poise there. He delivered a fastball in the low outside corner. Kazicki tried to put it the other way and fouled up behind home plate.
Yeah, good pitch there, a little bit inside. Got Kozicki a little bit out in front almost, it looked like, to the point where he golfed it straight up and back out of play.
Yeah, Kozicki, a guy who's been really, really in poise here in two-out situations, been 433 and in 385 with runners in scoring position. This is a situation where if there's a player you want, Minnesota wants to get Kozicki up to the plate as he's here with the 0-1 count. Henry delivers, fastball low and in, paints the inside corner for strike 2. Finally, Tommy Henry is up in the count early, up 0-2 with 2 outs here.
And this crowd willing Tommy Henry now getting into the ballgame. Probably the biggest crowd we've seen at Ray Fisher this year. It seems like we're saying that every game at this point now. Yeah, you're starting to get into Big Ten play. Nice weather. I'm not surprised. It's a good crowd here from the Wolverines. As Tommy Henry delivers a low and inside pitch, 1-2, excuse me. Very good 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball in. You can't blame there at all. Yeah, just trying to get him to go down and chase on one low and in after you just got the called strike in a very similar spot. You almost had that mentality as a batter. Well, if you just called it there once, you might have to swing at it again. Unfortunately, not quite the exact same spot, but again, not a bad pitch to try to get him to go downstairs. Yeah, the inside pitch might be setting up here as Tommy Henry 1-2 comes delivery. Throws a fastball fouled off. 1-2 count. Going to remain for the next pitch. Donovan, that one caught him square after the foul ball off the bat of Kozicki. He's going to need a minute back there. Yep. As we see home plate umpire Perry Costello giving that little catcher umpire courtesy. As you know, when you see a catcher get hit, umpire goes out to the pitcher, delivers the ball. And if an umpire gets hit, you'll see the catcher go out, make a mound visit. So, again, Perry Costello for the second time having to do that today, going out and, giving the catcher some time. It was just about a week ago, back on Saturday, Nick Hornberg and I were on the call against Michigan State, and Joe Donovan was absolutely just beat up after that one. Balls in the dirt, stopping everything, getting several foul balls, just like that one where he's going to take a minute. A rough life for a catcher. Yeah, it is. It is a grind behind the plate, especially for these D1 catchers who have to catch, 3-4 times a week. As Tommy Henry comes out with the 1-2 fastball, he lives on the plate, and it's a drive out to deep left center field, and that ball is gone. Jordan Kozicki with the 2-out, 3-run home run to give Minnesota the 6-2 lead. And not what you wanted to see there out of Tommy Henry. I mean, you're ahead in the count 1-2, and you just left that one over the middle of the plate. You can't afford to do that. And just like that, Minnesota in firm control of the ballgame. Michigan in danger of losing for the first time here at home this season. Yeah, you were talking about it. You can't afford to leave pitches over the plate. 1-2 in the count. You got to give a fastball away, work a two-seamer that's going to fall away. And Kozicki, a guy who's hit very well with 2 outs, delivers a big 2-out, 3-run homer for the Minnesota Gophers. Due up now with first baseman Cole McDivitt. See if Henry can get back into a rhythm. Delivers a breaking ball that breaks right over the plate for strike 1. Just one pitch away from getting out of the inning there for Tommy Henry, and instead it's a big blow. We were talking about unraveling. I think we're kind of seeing Tommy Henry unravel there. A guy who's struggling with his command. 1-2 leaves a plate over the middle. And a fly ball. Looks like it's going to be prime for Joe McDowell. A very tough play for catchers, and he's going to get the 3rd out. As Minnesota tacks on 3 more on the board, takes a big lead going into the bottom of the 5th, 6-2. You are listening to WCBN Sports Radio, the official student radio of Michigan baseball. Yeah, just unfortunately for Michigan now, you're in a position where you're chasing against a really good player in Max Meyer on the mound, who's really found his groove. After the double and home run to start the game, Michigan's really been unable to do anything. One other hit in that first inning, and after that, a walk is the only other base runner you've got thus far. Meyer is in a groove right now. Not someone you want to be trailing, especially now that he gets to attack the zone with that fastball slider combo that he's really got down right now. Exactly, and he's been pitching in very tough situations. It's been a 3-2 ball game or a 2-1 ball game, not in his favor. Now he's got that 6-2 lead. I'm just curious to see how he's going to start delivering. Maybe a little more confidence. Here as the Wolverines, Joe Donovan is due up with the 8-9-1. Aiko Thomas due up 2nd, and the leadoff hitter Jordan Wogu due up 3rd. See if the Wolverines going to have to tack on a few runs here to get back in this ball club. And usually when you see teams, rally off the big innings, it really starts off with the bottom of the lineup leading into the heart of the lineup with runners in scoring position. If Wolverines want to do that, they're going to have to do it this inning with 8-9-1 coming up. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Wolverines lineup being deep, and they're really going to have to show it here. Now, responding after the big inning out of Minnesota is key. They've scored 5 over the last 2 innings. It's almost feels like now or never for Michigan if they don't want this game to get away from them. Obviously, that's not necessarily the case. It's only the 5th inning. But you can kind of feel in the air around here, Minnesota playing with a lot of confidence right now. Morale is very high in that dugout. Michigan has yet to trail like this season at home. I believe this might be maybe their second deficit at home all year, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, you can definitely tell this Minnesota Gopher team is rallying around their great pitching from Max Meyer here coming into the bottom of the 5th. Really surrendered those 2 runs in the first inning. After that, it's been very dominant as he comes to delivery 0-1, and Donovan fouls off the first pitch.
That was a good pitch for Donovan to hit. Got the fastball right over the middle of the plate, put a big swing on it, kind of corkscrewed himself into the ground there down to a knee, but couldn't put it in play, just off on that one.
Yeah, Joe Donovan, a guy who really likes to hit those early pitches, coming here with 4 home runs, down 0-1 the count, takes 0-2 pitch, low and inside quarter for strike 2.
That's just a good pitch from Meyer there. After that fastball that stayed right down the middle of the plate, was able to put that right on the inside corner to Donovan. Not really on a spot that Donovan's going to be able to do anything with.
Exactly. 0-2 coming here. Donovan lines it down third base, and it's fair ball down the left field corner. Donovan around at first, headed for 2. And he is going to sit put with a stand-up lead-off double here for the Wolverines. He overthrows the third baseman, and catcher Wilson here to back up the throw. Very, very rough play there from Smith, the left fielder, thrown back into third base, overthrew the third baseman. Luckily, Wilson was in good position to back up the throw. As Joe Donovan with the leadoff double, big play for the Wolverines. If they want to start rallying behind and kind of chipping away at this lead, that's the way to do it. Yeah,
that was huge for Donovan. Went down, got that 0-2 pitch, put it in that left field corner. Smith bobbled it for a second out there, looking to get a little bit of trouble navigating that corner. And as you mentioned, the overthrow. So if Donovan would have gone a 30, he would have gotten there. But obviously you don't anticipate both a bobble and an overthrow on the same play to get you into third base. But
Thomas due up here, takes the first pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. Yep, looks like it's going to be a strike 1, but yeah, you're talking about Joe Donovan, 0-2 pitch, really, really delivered a nice swing, put it right down the third base line, barely was foul. Like you said, Smith fumbled the ball out in left field, really gave an opportunity for Donovan maybe to go to third, but he didn't. As Meyer delivers here, and it looks like it's going to be a foul tip into the mid of Smith for a strike 2.
Yeah, K.O. Thomas just a little bit tardy there on the low fastball, unable to get the bat around quickly, and now down in the count 0-2. Going to need another good 2 strikes swinging the bat for the Wolverines to get things really going here.
Yeah, unlike last at bat, Meyer's really not going to want to leave a pitch over the plate as he comes here with the 0-2. He does leave a plate over the plate, but Thomas fouls it out past that first base into that parking lot with a bunch of cars there. It's it's a risky play over there. Unfortunately, my car is parked over there, so hopefully no damage is done to my car over there. Good old Chrysler Sebring. It's been around for a while. That baby's been chugging along for a while. Thomas comes here down 0-2 in the count. You've seen Wolverines do a lot of really good job in down in the count, fouling pitches off, staying alive in the at-bat as Thomas comes up at 0-2. Fastball low and away, very, very close. A very beautiful 0-2 pitch there from Meyer. A pitch good enough to swing, but not good enough for a pitcher or for the hitter to really do any damage with it. Very good pitch there by Meyer as he still commanded the count 1-2.
Yeah, just off that corner outside. Thomas thought about swinging. Yeah. Really good take there. Wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. As you mentioned, would have probably cued it out the end of the bat.
So Meyer delivers a 1-2 pitch. High. Fastball high. 2-2 count.
Yeah, Thomas just 5'7" there. Got that shorter strike zone.
Yeah. Sort of the Jose Altuve effect.
Yeah, exactly.
A little small second baseman. He's got a little pop. We were talking about Thomas, a guy who's been very, very good for this Michigan program coming into his senior year. A little disappointing, but, it's early on. They're just coming to big-time play. He can turn it around as he comes up 2-2, fouls it off down the first base line. Again, staying alive in this count, with 2 foul balls with 2 strikes.
An adjustment by the Michigan hitters I've noticed. Meyer was attacking a lot of them low and in, especially the right-handers, mostly through this first and second time through the lineup here. What we've seen from Donovan and now K.O. Thomas ready for that pitch low and in. Wouldn't be surprised to see Meyer maybe go back upstairs here.
Again, very good call. He's setting up those low end pitches. You would not doubt to change eye level and go high as he comes here set with a 2-2. Really checking that runner Donovan a second. Delivers a curveball down in the dirt. Good block there by Wilson as the count goes full 3-2.
A great at-bat here by Thomas now. That's 7 pitches in the at-bat. It'll be 8 upcoming with this next pitch. And even if it doesn't result in a hit here or getting on base, which I'm sure these Wolverine fans would like, very into the game today as well, in addition to being a loud crowd or a larger crowd. It still is doing damage on Meyer. Maybe gets him out of the game a little bit quicker.
Meyer count is full, delivers a pitch, and Thomas flies out to right field. Bertrand got behind the ball, throws in a dart back and shortstop as Meyer gets his first out of the inning. Again, you're talking about a very good at-bat. Thomas took an inside pitch. He went inside out, Derek Jeter style, flew out to right field. A really hard hit ball out to Bertrand, and Bertrand was ready for it.
Yeah, it looked like it might get in there right beyond the second baseman Raby's head, but just, again, another ball that hung up in the air for Bertrand to get under and make a grab really fairly easily. And it was also hit fairly short, so really no chance for Donovan to tag up. Don't think he would have unless it was a significantly farther fly ball, but still, it would have been nice to move him up with one out in the inning, even if it's a 4-run ball game. Scratch a run across here, you feel a little bit better about yourself. Yeah, when you're down 6-2 in a ball game, as Minnesota's having a little mound meeting as the entire infield comes in, like I was saying, down 6-2 in a ball game, you really can't afford to give away outs. So Donovan's really not going to risk that play from second to third because really Michigan's, we're in the bottom of the fourth. They still have, about 12 outs to give. You still don't want to risk outs down 4 in a ball game, in a very contested ball game here in the Big Ten play. You got a quick visit to the mound there for Minnesota between pitches. Not exactly sure between batters, really. Maybe kind of coordinate what they're going to do this third time through the order as Wogu makes his way up to plate for that third time around. Ty McDevitt's the pitching coach's third season over at Minnesota.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a relation and with McDevitt, the first baseman here for the Minnesota Gophers. As you said, Wogu up to the plate. First pitch, takes a fastball inside for a strike. Again, very good command by Meyer, throwing that low and in fastball right, painting the corner. Very good pitch. As Wogu today has a double here in the first inning, that very sharp leadoff double right over Raby's header at second base, Raby, excuse me, and then struck out in the fourth. So he takes a ground ball here at third base. Really tough play for Waisel. Throws it to first, and he's out.
Good play on the short hop there by Wassel, moving over towards his left, towards that hole over there at third base. Made that short hop pick. If he doesn't, really doesn't have a play on it at all with Wogu running down to first base. Yeah, really tough play there. You said that short hop. That was a hard hit ball. It's not like that was a lightly hit ball. Waisel made a really good play of really smothering it and throwing over to first, keeping Donovan there at second base. Like you said, if that ball gets past, Wolverines might be in position to score. As due up for the Wolverines now, the second hitter, Jesse Franklin, center fielder. Yeah, Franklin had that big blow, the 2-run homer in the first, walked in the third. He's been probably the Wolverines' best hitter today.
There's a line drive to right field, and they're going to hold Donovan at third. Big hit there for Franklin. Again, another hard hit ball, giving the Wolverines a first and third, filling the corners with 2 outs. As coming to the plate, the guy Wolverine fans know all too well, Jordan Brewer, the leading home run hitter for this Wolverine ball club with 8 home runs, hitting it very well, .369. This is the guy you want up. Down 4 with 2 outs, runners on the corners. Jordan Brewer is the guy who can really deliver a big hit here for the Wolverines.
Yeah, that hit by Jesse Franklin, almost too hard. He lined it so hard to right field, there was no chance Donovan was going to come around to score. By the time Bertrand was already making the throw in was when Donovan was getting to third base.
Yeah, very good by the third base coach to hold Donovan there at third base. The first pitch comes here, and Brewer takes a little short hop to third base, delivers it to first, and he is out for the third inning. Very good play by Wassel. Waisel, right?
Either way, it's a great play.
Sure, yeah, great play. Wolverines leave the inning with a runner in scoring position. Cannot bring them home as the Wolverines are down 6-2 going into the top of the 6th. Again, this is WCBN Sports Radio, the official student radio of Michigan baseball.
Yeah, and for Jordan Brewer there, you almost have to wonder if the 2 strikeouts already on the day factored into that early swing. Wasn't the best pitch to hit, normally one that he'd probably take to start an at-bat. Yeah. But having already struck out twice in the ball game, maybe wanted to try to get anything hittable and put the ball in play and not go down on strikes a third time. Looks to be a little bit limping coming off that.
It did sort of seem like
a first.
He kind of broke the Cardinals' sin as a base runner. He really lunged at first base. He did kind of hobble up at their end of that run. So, yeah, you're talking about the 2 strikeouts. The first one is a little bit of I don't want to say it was a controversial call, but they were the umpire, home plate umpire, made the check swing call from behind the plate, which is really not typical. You really like to appeal it down to the first base umpire. But, yeah, down 6-2, you don't really want to swing at first pitch. strikes like that, and Brewer does and grounds out the third.
And so scoring chance kind of blown there by the Wolverines in that inning. Disappointing after you really, really wanted to respond to Minnesota's 3 spot they put up earlier in that fifth.
Yeah, back here going into the top of the 6th, we still do see Tommy Henry, on the mound with 80 pitches going here to the top of the 6th, giving up 6 runs. You're starting to think maybe 80 pitches is getting pretty high. The bullpen is starting to warm up for the Wolverines. He's definitely on pitch count here at 80 pitches. Still early on in the year, just starting Big Ten play. You want to keep his pitch count at a reasonable amount. But we still see here coming here in top of the 6th.
And by far Henry's worst outing of the season. Already doubled his ERA and more so. Up to 171 on the season from the minuscule 0.76 he had coming in.
Yeah, again, like you said, it's the first time we've really seen him struggle. Even against Texas Tech, he didn't look too bad. But here against the Gophers, really struggling.
And coming in today, just 7 walks all year. He's got 4 today alone.
As Henry delivers a first pitch strike to second baseman Zach Raby. Finally, good command there on the fastball. It was a little high, but again, good pitch, get ahead of the count. That's what Henry really needs to do here, as he really has not done the last 2 innings at all. As he comes into his delivery right now, 0-1 to Raby. It's going to be a fastball low and away. Raby swings and misses. Henry up in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, now really just going after Raby, trying to fire some strikes in there, which has kind of been few and far between for him the last couple innings.
Yeah, Raby, guy who's not exactly the greatest hitter when he's due up in the inning first, hitting at 200, but hitting 233 for the entire season. Today is 1 for 2 with a big RBI as he's getting ready for this 0-2 pitch. And it's going to be a fastball high and away. Gets Raby swinging for a strike 3.
Yeah, Raby's second time he's gone down on strikes today. That's strikeout number 6 for Tommy Henry on the ball game today. And that one was really set up from his breaking ball earlier on. The fastball that stayed up high, maybe expecting it to break down in the zone there, was Raby.
Yep, due up now for the Minnesota Gophers. Guy who made that last out there at third base, Jack Waisel. Here a guy hitting 262. Lefty on lefty matchup. Here you see Tommy Henry maybe get that breaking ball early, getting that curveball or slider is going to snap away from the batter as he comes ready here in the 0-0 count. First pitch, fastball away, right on the paint. Very, very good pitch as Henry, again, for the second straight batter, gets ahead in the count, 0-1.
Yeah, Waisel, the single, sacrifice fly, RBI on the ball game so far today. Good to start him out ahead in the count at the very least, especially when you have this lefty-lefty advantage and haven't been able to take advantage of it yet.
Comes right with the 0-1 pitch, gets that little breaking ball, breaks outside for a strike, stays in the zone. As Henry ahead in the count, 0-2. Very good, like you're talking about. That fastball has been struggling today. He delivered a very good pitch, low and away, and you can afford to give that breaking ball up 0-1 in the count as he delivers a very, very good pitch that leaks from the middle of the plate out to the outside corner. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Coming in delivery. 0-2 pitch is barely outside. Very, very good 0-2 pitch. Ball outside moves the count to 1-2. We talked about it earlier. Meyer's been delivering that 0-2 pitch very well. That was a good pitch from Tommy Henry there, 0-2. Guy's been struggling, maybe starting to get a little more command over his fastball.
Yeah, very tempting there. Almost trying to bring it barely back on that outside corner, but didn't quite break enough. Still a good chase pitch.
Yep, and that 1-2 pitch comes high here for a way, so it works the count 2-2. Tommy Henry really, really, really been struggling right now. His pitches have not missed by much. He's up 1-2 in the count, or 0-2 in the count, give a fastball away. It looks very good. That second ball of the at-bat, high fastball, did not look too far off as well. As he comes set here, 2-2, he delivers a pitch. Breaking ball still leaks high for a ball 3 as Henry has let Waisel back into the at-bat, working the count full.
It looks like that slider there, tried to keep it up in the zone, maybe get Waisel to chase, but couldn't bring it back down towards the top of the zone where he wanted it.
And we've seen him do that a lot today, not be able to break curveballs, leaving them high and hanging them. He delivers a full count pitch for strike 3, gets Waisel swinging. Big, another strikeout here for Henry. Starting to get back into Tommy Henry form. He's been struggling there in the 4th and 5th inning. Looked very good in these first 2 at-bats. Do it up now for the Minnesota Gophers is Riley Smith.
Had a steal over from our softball crew, Jeremy Parks, over at Alumni Field. Tommy Henry's got a strikeout for every day of the week for you. 7 on the day for him, even with these struggles, still racking up the Ks.
There you go. A guy, lefty pitchers, if they can throw hard, they have very, very high strikeout numbers, especially a guy Tommy Henry has a very good breaking ball. As he comes here with the first pitch, gives a fastball down the line. It's going to be fair ball As Smith is rounding first, heading to second, takes a weird hop. Brewer throws into second base, gives a dart, but Smith is still safe at second. 2 out, no runners on double for Riley Smith.
Yeah, Kerr just playing a little bit too far off the line to be able to get to that ball, and it was weakly kind of trickled down that right field line. As you mentioned, took a weird hop off the sidewall, so Brewer wasn't able to field it and throw in immediately. Had to kind of recover, change his path, and still almost made a nice throw in to get him, but sliding in safely was Smith ahead of that throw.
Yeah, we saw that strong Jordan Brewer arm as he really threw a dart into second base, a play that we really thought had no chance. Really made it not close, but respectable play. As due up now for Minnesota with 2 outs, Ben Mazinga, the center fielder, and your leadoff hitter. Here with 2 outs, a guy who doesn't necessarily like to be in the situation. He does like to be in the situation. Excuse me, Ben. 333 with 2 outs. Here in another 2-out spot with a duck on the pond. As the first pitch from Henry is low and outside corner for a strike. Henry again, this inning really showing a lot more command in his fastball. Here again in the third of 4 at-bats, getting ahead of the count. First pitch strike, very key for Henry as he delivers another one right there, 0-1.
Yeah, good to start off here. Another lefty-lefty matchup. As I said, you got to take advantage of it here. You can strike out the side here with a double thrown in between if you stay ahead of Mazinga.
And the 0-1 pitch is fouled off to the left behind third base, 0-2. Mazinga, a guy who's, like you said, a speedster, 9 stolen bases on the year with 11 attempts. He's only batting .255, so he's struggling a little bit with his average, but he definitely makes it up with his play out in center field and definitely his speed. When he's on base, he's definitely a threat. So if he gets a base knock here and is able to drive that run in, again, another threat there at first base if he's able to get on.
If you're Tommy Henry, though, I don't think you throw anything in the zone for at least the next 2 pitches. Probably a breaking ball down and away, maybe try to change the eye level with a high fastball, but nothing in the zone and hittable.
He goes to 0-2 pitch, and again, not in the zone, very good pitch. High fastball for ball 1. Exactly what you said, a pitch that is desirable, but not much you can do anything with, and Tommy Henry suffers his first ball of that bat. 1-2 count here to Mazinga. Again here, 1-2. I like the same idea there. He threw a high fastball, expecting him to change eye level, maybe deliver a curveball or slider low and away here. So I'm curious to see as Henry comes set, delivers the pitch, and he sticks with a fastball in the low outside corner and gets Mazinga swinging for the 3rd out as he strains that run at second base. His first scoreless inning since the 3rd. As the Wolverines going into the bottom of the 6th, down 6-2 here to the Minnesota Gophers.
Yeah, I think that might have actually been the slider from Tommy Henry there. Haven't seen it a ton today. He's more stuck with the curveball when he goes off speed, but really got that one moving low and away from the left-handed hitter in Mazinga and did a good job. And that's the last we're going to see of Tommy Henry today. Yeah. It's at least a positive note to go out on 3 strikeouts in that last inning, bring up to 8 on the day. Again, a rough outing for Tommy Henry, giving up 6 runs, but at least a solid finish, turning it over to your offense and to your bullpen. Try to get you back into this one, pick you up as you may have done for the team earlier on in the season when you were just throwing gem after gem, including against UCLA where the offense didn't score a ton, but were able to win because Tommy Henry was just so good on the mound.
Yeah. Coming down here in the bottom of the 6th, down 6-2. As a hitter, you're in these situations down 4 with 4 at-bats left, or 4 innings left, excuse me. What's just sort of your philosophy coming in down 4 runs?
I mean, it's got to be base runners at this point. You don't want to give away strikes. I mean, against Max Meyer, who's throwing a ton of strikes in this ball game, it's kind of hard to say wait out a good pitch just because he's pounding the strikes on. I mean, 85 pitches, 59 of those are strikes. He's not throwing many balls at all. So you really got to pick out a pitch, pick out a spot early in an at-bat to try to drive one and get on base until you can at least get into that bullpen, I guess, and then maybe try working counts a little bit more after that. But really, it just comes down to base runners. Find pitches you can drive, lay off stuff that you can't, until you have to with 2 strikes. That's kind of got to be your philosophy just going forward the rest of this ballgame. I mean, it's a good philosophy to always have first and foremost, but especially going out here down 4 runs.
Well, due up for the Wolverines looking to do exactly that is left fielder Miles Lewis. Guy hit .324 on the entire season, but for today is 0 for 2 against this, like you said, Max Meyer pitcher who's been really in great control since the first inning. He delivers a first pitch, fastball, similarly right down the middle for a strike 1 as Miles Lewis swings and misses.
I think that one might have had a little action moving away from Lewis as well. He kind of pulled off it, maybe trying to really drive that one out towards left field as the wind kind of picks up a little bit, moving right to left.
So 0-1 pitch comes here, and Lewis gets a piece of it, fouls it off behind the plate as he falls down the count 0-2. And you were talking about it exactly there. In between innings, Max Myers really showed great command. His ability to get ahead of the count, putting himself in a great position near 0-2. Again, if he can leave a pitch off the plate, really give Lewis nothing to hit, but something that's good enough to swing at. As he comes here with the 0-2, and he does exactly that. Fastball inside, not too far off the plate, ball one. As I don't think Lewis is a big fan of that ball. Myers, not a big fan of the ball, throws it back to his catcher and gets a new ball from the home plate umpire.
Yeah, third straight time Lewis been down in the count 1-2 against Meyer today. He was able to stick in there and foul off a few pitches back in the third. We'll see if he can do so again.
1-2 pitch, fastball away. Lewis works the count back to 2-2. Looked like that also had a little bit of action on it, falling away.
I think it might have been that slider there.
Yeah.
As it started out looking like a fastball right on the outside corner before really moving low and away and out of the zone. Good eye by Lewis here to lay off.
Yep, as here comes a 2-2 pitch and a fastball again, maybe a slider away as the ball for a full count, 3-2.
Yeah, I think it was the exact same pitch, that slider moving low and away, but this time a little bit closer, induced a little more oohs and ahs from the crowd and from the Minnesota dugout.
Yeah, if you're hearing a little cheers, it's not from the baseball field. Here in the softball there at Alumni Field, it looks like the Wolverines hit a home run over there. So that's, a little bonus there from the softball field. Hopefully they can get a little momentum carrying from the softball team as Miles Lewis is up to bat here, 3-2 full count. Here comes the full count pitch. It's a fastball inside as he rips down the third baseline, foul ball.
Yeah, nice job there. Just pulled the hands in on a pitch that, again, it's kind of been the specialty of Myers' day is throwing pitches that Wolverines can't do a whole lot with.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that one was. It was on the inside part of the plate, something you got to swing at, but really nothing you're going to be able to do too much. So pull the hands in, foul that one off, live another day.
So full count pitch to Lewis is a ball four. A very, very good at bat there by Miles Lewis. Took about 7 pitches. Nope, 7 pitches. Fouled that one off and got a big walk for the Wolverines. And like you said, down 4 runs here in the 6th inning. You got to get base runners. And a very, very good leadoff at bat from Miles Lewis. Draws a walk. And here now up to the plate is Blake Nelson. Guy also today 1 for 2, looking to capitalize with that leadoff walk.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of aggressiveness out of Lewis over there at first base.
As the first pitch is fouled off there by Blake Nelson. Blake Nelson, the guy also this year, batting .365. Yep, like I said, 1 for 2 on the day. Nelson been very, very good this season. He's batting in the 5-hole today, hitting .362. I mean, you really can't ask anything more from your 5-hitter. As Meyer comes set here, delivers the 0-1 pitch, and it's going to be a fastball. Looks like it was maybe high. Looked like it was in the zone, but just up.
Maybe a little bit inside there. I think really selling that pitch was Blake Nelson turning out of the way and be getting the call for himself from Perry Costello. And as I was saying, I think Lewis might be a little bit aggressive here. See if Eric Bakich decides maybe put a little hit and run or something on. Just try to jumpstart the offense.
Nelson delivers a fly ball to center field. It's going to be caught by Mazega, and he delivers it back into second base. Is the first out there for the Wolverines.
Yeah, not bad contact by Nelson there to center field, but certainly nowhere near home run distance at all. It's just kind of hung up, and Mazinga ranged into right center to make the play.
Yep, do it for the Wolverines. Now a first baseman, Jimmy Kerr. Like you were saying, a guy who's been really hot of lately. Had that great weekend last weekend in Michigan State and came back here and had a very good game. 0 for 2 on the day. Delivered, hopefully give Michigan a little bit of a run here as Meyer comes set, delivers. Fastball inside, jams Kerr, and they're just going to get the out at first base. Tough play there, inside pitch, jams him a little bit, but Jimmy Kerr grounds out. Runner does advance to second base, is Lewis. Wolverines, 2 outs, runner on second base.
And that's another great example of that first pitch slider. It looked like Kerr thought it was going to be a fastball he's going to be able to do something with, and then realized it was breaking in on him and tried to hold up, but got the bat on it, tapped it over towards first. McDevitt actually stumbled a little bit, slipped on that first base bag when he got over there, but was able to make the out regardless. And there's runner in scoring position, but 2 outs now for the Wolverines. And Myers got the light at the end of the tunnel after the leadoff walk.
Yeah, a very good way to bounce back from Meyer, getting that line drive up to center field and throwing a very good inside slider, like you said, up to the plate now. Shortstop Jack Blomgren. First pitch comes, looks like a fastball right on the inside corner for strike 1.
That's where he's been attacking Blomgren all day. It's just right on the edges. I don't know why. It seems like his command has been great, Meyer, but especially to Blomgren. He has been able to absolutely paint the corners against him today.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Austin. He's really delivering that, and especially to righties. That inside corner has been absolute sweet spot for Myers. He delivers an 0-1. Again, on the inside corner. Maybe a little inside here as it's a ball 1-1.
I might have missed a little bit up. I know last at-bat, Blomgren saw a very similar pitch that he thought was high, got called a strike. Maybe putting up a little bit of a stink one on the call here. Not sure. But
but really staying around that strike zone. It's not really losing control at all. His fastball's had great command. You're talking about his slider. It's been very good as he comes set here for the 1-1, delivers. Another slider piece that delivered outside, gets Blomgren swinging. Count turns to 1-2 here.
Yeah, Meyer really used that slider as a put-away pitch with 2 strikes early on the first couple times through the lineup. Now we're getting in here through the 3rd time in the order, using it a little bit earlier on in counts, inducing swing and misses, weak contact, and we saw it right there.
Yeah, got Meyer the high end fastball, breaks his slider away here. I wouldn't doubt if he comes back here with the high fastball, 1-2. As he comes set, he delivers, breaks that fastball in, and Blomgren grounds to third base. Very good play and gets him out at 1. No, and he drops it. He drops it, and the run comes in to score. Very unfortunate play there for the Gophers, as McDivitt looks like he strided out to get it, dropped it, and I think they're talking about maybe Blomgren interfering with him. Yeah. Something going on here for the Gophers, but that's a big error for the Wolverines.
That was going to be a ground out, but the first baseman over at McDevitt had to reach into the baseline, it looked like, to try to catch the ball, and couldn't field it with Blomgren running through his glove. It looked like a clean play to me. Blomgren was running straight down the baseline. It just happened to be the throw was in that exact same spot. Lucky break for the Wolverines here. They get a run across, get a little bit closer, and keep the inning going. Yeah, I mean, you just said exactly right. Blomgren, as a guy running to first base, has the right to his base path. Really does not need to do anything to avoid the play. So, yeah, very unfortunate play for McDevitt and the Gophers, giving up a run here as the first pitch to Donovan comes low and away as Donovan gets ahead in the count 1-0. And great base running by Miles Lewis, too. He was running on the hit, obviously, with 2 gone in the inning, and is rounded, made an aggressive turnaround third, went home as soon as he saw that ball get away to a distance where no one was able to get there and make the throw home in time. Yeah, exactly. And the 0-1 pitch fouled off by Donovan is a really hard hit ball, fouled down the third base side. Again here, Meyer staying in control here. Another great inside pitch. See if Donovan can do anything with it. Come here 1-1 as Meyer comes set. He delivers. Fastball on that low and outside corner. A very, very beautiful pitch. Up in the count 1-2. Again, that fastball having great command today. Really been in prime form since that first inning. Now would be the perfect time for Donovan to do exactly what he did last at-bat with 2 strikes and find that third base line. As he delivers a 1-2 pitch, a little slider action. Good take by Joe Donovan. Barely leaks out of the zone. A very tough pitch to lay off. But Joe Donovan shows great plate presence, and draws the second ball of the at-bat. And Waisel over at third, really hugging that third base line after a line out and a double down that line for Donovan. Donovan ropes a base knock over the middle. Very sharp hit ball for Donovan, and the Raiders tack on another base runner here in the bottom of the 6th. Runners in first and second with 2 outs, and up to the plate, is Thomas here. 2 outs, 0 for 2 today. This will really be a big opportunity for Thomas to get his season kind of going, maybe jump into a little bit of momentum. I think the key here for Thomas could be avoid hitting the ball high in the air. He doesn't have the most pop, does Thomas. Again, just a 5'7" frame out there, 165, the senior out of Chicago. He's flown out to center and to right field today. If we can get something more on a line than a fly ball, find a hole here, you could score 1. If you find a gap, you could score 2 and make this a 1-run game. Yeah, especially with Donovan's speed there over at first base, he can get a big jump here as the first pitch delivered to Thomas is a strike 1. And Donovan gets to take a big lead over there with McDevitt not holding him on. Yep, exactly right. Yep, you see Donovan take another extra step like he usually would if nobody's holding him on, as Meyer delivers a second strike to Thomas here in this at-bat. 0-2 again. Another beautiful pitch on the low outside corner. And not sure what Thomas is looking for here. Both those pitches, very hittable fastballs to start off here. You're not going to get better pitches than that, and that might be kind of the root of his issues here, just not being able to diagnose and hit those early hittable pitches in the at-bats. Absolutely. As the 0-2 pitch comes here, and it's a slide piece outside. Good take by Thomas, but another very good 0-2 slider there from Meyer. And something that Thomas has really struggled with this year, 4 walks, 14 strikeouts. That's not the Akeo Thomas we came to know over the last couple of years. He was a patient hitter, but very rarely struck out, always got bad on ball, and really was able to work counts and work walks, which he hasn't done a whole lot this season, but he's trying to here. Again, Meyer goes to that slide piece. Good take by Thomas.
Ball 2 as Thomas works the count to 2-2 here. Like you're saying, if he can just get a piece on it, maybe deliver that big gap area in between the first and second base, as we're seeing Raby play a little bit over, maybe holding on Blomgren there at second base as he kind of fades way back over to his prime second base position. If Thomas can kind of get a piece on here, delivering the outfield, would be a big run for the Wolverines. As he comes, delivers at 2-2, he checks swings, peels down to first base, and he did not go. Thomas works the count full in a big situation here. Full count, 2 outs, expect the runners to be moving. As you're seeing the Wolverine faithful starting to get a little loud here in a big at-bat. Down 3, tying run at home plate. You never know what's going to happen here, Thomas. He full count. Meyer comes set. He delivers. Fastball fouled away as Thomas. Again, we saw the runners in motion, expected there, full count, 2 outs. I think he tried to deliver another slider there, looked low and away, and Thomas fouled it off.
Yeah, a little bit ahead of it, but again, able to keep that bat head in the zone. So that's the Akeo Thomas we know over the past few years, just staying alive, even if you're fooled a little bit.
Yep. Again here, full count, 2 outs. Runners should be moving. Meyer comes set. Runners are moving. Thomas strikes out swinging. A very, very good slider there from Meyer, showing great poise, delivers a great strike, and gets Thomas swinging.
It looked like it might have been the fastball, actually. After you said the slider, the pitch before, had Thomas out in front and then sped him right back up with the fastball, and Thomas was just blown away a little late on that one.
Yeah, very good pitch by Meyer. Really showing great poise to get out of a tough scenario there. Runners first and second with 2 outs. That's the second time we've seen base runners stranded on for the Wolverines the last 2 innings. You know, runners in scoring position not be able to come home. As we go into the top of the 7th, the score now as Wolverines played around is 6-3 Minnesota over the Wolverines. We're rolling here in the top of the 7th. We got to say goodbye to Austin Falco, who did a great job as always. Bringing back our closer here is Nick Hornberg. He's getting ready to settle down here. We are WCBN Sports, the official student radio of Michigan baseball. Again, the score 6-3 here in the top of the 7th. Coming out in the 7th inning, we still see the main man, Tommy Henry, who has thrown a lot of pitches, sitting at 94 right now. We're seeing Tommy Henry come back into the game as I'm joined by Nick Hornberg. Looking here in the top of the 7th, Nicky, you see Tommy Henry with 94 pitches. What's your thought on bringing him back out in the 7th inning?
Well, it's about as good a time as any. Might as well test to see how far he can go. As Austin and I said at the top of the broadcast, this is a situation where you have a weekend series against a Minnesota team who has proven today they are a good team. You're going to need as many bullpen arms as you can, and Tommy Henry does have a complete game, averages nearly 7 innings per start. But as you said, 94 pitches, a lot of pitches. They have Isaiah Page currently warming up in the bullpen. So actually, it would surprise me if it would not surprise me if Henry is only out there to get 1 or 2 outs, maybe pitch to Wilson or Meyer, and then take him out and put in Isaiah Page.
Yeah, I think you hit it right in the spot there. I think in our 7-4 Meyer, who is that in the starting pitcher today, has been very good as a left-handed hitter. So you're going to get through Wilson here, who's a right-hander, maybe get to Meyer, who's a lefty, and then go back to Page in the bullpen. And
then go to Isaiah Page, the righty, to pitch to Bertrand and Kazicki.
Yep.
And now the first pitch from Tommy Henry is swung on and launched into center field, and Jesse Franklin will range over to make an easy play, and Tommy Henry, a routine fly ball for the first out of the 7th, as Max Meyer will step into the batter's box.
Yeah, very big there for Tommy Henry, a guy who's throwing a lot of pitches over the last 3 innings to deliver a very good low and inside fastball and getting Wilson to fly out to center field on the first pitch of the inning. That's very big for the Wolverines.
And Max Meyer will step into the batter's box. Something interesting about Max Meyer, strong starting pitcher, but not very large, 6 feet tall, only about 185.
Yeah, that height has not hurt him well today. He's been very commanded that fastball and looking very good.
And first pitch is launched into right field, and that will get down, and that will be extra bases as Meyer breaks nicely for a pitcher, gets into second for a stand-up double.
Yeah, Meyer, a guy who's really shown his dynamic ability to be a great pitcher and a great hitter today going into the game. Batting a strong 312, was 0 for 2 today, delivers a very, very sharp hit double down the right field line. Really, it's very interesting. There's not a lot of players in Division I baseball who can hit as well as Meyer does and also pitch as well as Meyer does. And it's a very, very intriguing thing to look at if you're a pro scout. You never know if he's going to be a hitter or a pitcher. And a lot of guys, especially a righty like him, not exactly the greatest pitching prospect, showing great ability to hit the ball.
And head coach Eric Bakich has walked out to the mound, and Tommy Henry's day will be done, as Bakich does not take the ball from Henry, as in not what usually happens. Tommy Henry gave the ball directly to Isaiah Page, who had come out of the bullpen, as Tommy Henry will saunter over to the dugout. And Isaiah Page, the redshirt freshman from Manhattan Beach, California, will step over to the mound from the bullpen and will start warming up with Joe Donovan.
Yeah, you look at Henry's stat line. Following the start, he went 6 1/3, 6 hits on 6 runs. But what did the damage for him was that one inning in the fourth, where he had 2 walks, hit by pitch. That's what really did it. He really had struggled commanding in those middle innings, commanding that fastball and that curveball that's been very sharp all year. He wasn't able to snap it down and break it down. He left a lot hanging. He really left a lot of breaking balls high in the zone that missed for a ball. If it breaks down even further, it might go down right middle of the plate for an easy, a great hit to pitch. As Henry leaves, he had 8 strikeouts, which is, his normal Tommy Henry start. But again, 4 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 6 runs, 6 hits, 6 earned runs. Tough outing for Henry.
And Isaiah Page, as stated, I was actually mistaken, the redshirt freshman from Diamond Bar, California, really had a strong season. This is his second with the program. The redshirt freshman tore his ACL in preseason last season, as he detailed to WCBN in an interview with Lucas Vargas and Adam Rich last December. If you want to check that out, go to youtube.com/WCBN Sports, the channel that this is currently broadcasting from.
Yep. Yeah, Isaiah Page, 2.11 ERA come this season, sitting at 21 1/3 innings pitched, only giving up 5 earned runs. He's been very, very good. He's not that great of a strikeout pitcher, 6 Ks on the season, 4 walks, but he's sitting on a record of 3-0. So this is a guy who, coming in a tough situation, runner on second, 1 out. This is a guy you look to in the bullpen for the Wolverines.
And Page been pressed into starting service a couple times in midweek games, particularly one against San Jose State, but now back in the bullpen as the first pitch to Easton Bertrand, a swinging strike 1.
Yeah, unlike what Tommy Henry was able to do in those middle innings to Bertrand, he fell behind. Henry fell behind Bertrand and gave Bertrand a really great possibility to get easy pitches down the plate. Well, Page comes out here, delivers a very hard fastball, low and away, and gets Bertrand swinging. So it's a way to get ahead of the count if you're Isaiah Page.
And Page delivers from the stretch, and another pitch low and away, but this one too low and too far away. And for ball 1, as Page looks over to Akeo Thomas at second base. Not often you see a pitcher turning around trying to potentially hold a pitcher on second base.
Yeah, you're right, Hortberg. It's a really odd situation, but Thomas is definitely holding him on, keeping him close. Meyer's not too far off second base.
And there's the pitch, and grounded straight into the hole, and Meyer will be taken out at third base.
That is, as a guy, Meyer, who's maybe focused on pitching, if there's an error for base running, that's the error right there. Sharp hit ball right to Blomgren at shortstop. You usually don't want to run on a ground ball hit right to the right of you if you're at second base. He goes to third. Blomgren gives a dart to third base, gets him out. I can understand if it's hit glove side to Blomgren. It's very tough for a shortstop to feel it to the left, turn around, dart to third. But that was hit right to Blomgren, even hand side a little bit. And Meyer went to third and got the out. Very, very unfortunate error there for the Minnesota Gophers.
And now Kazicki in the batter's box. First pitch and a called strike 1, an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, Kazicki, a guy who delivered that absolute bomb into left center. We're seeing Wolverines shift a little bit. You're seeing Thomas not too far over second base, but maybe a couple steps glove side over second base. Blomgren's definitely playing in the hole. And we got Nelson there at third base, hugging the line just a little bit. Definitely a little shift.
And the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, and Kazicki finds himself behind 0-2.
Yeah, very nice pitch, breaking down low in the zone. Very good block there by Donovan to keep it in front of him. But that's a nice pitch there by Page. And with that shift over the left side, we see Kerr holding on at first base, holding Bertrand on at first base, leaving that huge hole in between first and second. So if he gets an outside pitch, Kazicki might want to put it the other way into that gap.
Isaiah Page, 1 pitch away from ending the 7th inning. And Page, the 0-2 delivery, and high and outside, ball one.
Yeah, good pitch by Page. I like that. 0-2 in the count. A guy who's, so far through this inning, he's only gone through 2 batters, has had very good command, good fastball, good breaking ball movement. Fastball, get that fastball away. Set up that curveball, maybe down low in the zone as he delivers the high fastball. It's a good pitch.
And Page takes the signal from Donovan. 1-2 pitch from the stretch. Runner goes, and Donovan forced to drop out of his stance to block, and it will be an easy stolen base for Easton Bertrand.
Yeah, Bertrand's 3rd steal of the year. Tough play there for Donovan. A fastball. It looks like Page delivered a fastball. A very tough play to actually block for a catcher. Fastballs in the dirt, very tough. Donovan keeps it in front of him. Unfortunately, can't make a play to throw out Bertrand at second.
And count evened up at 2. Isaiah Page let Kazicki back in the at-bat. Now the 2-2 delivery and swung on, foul-tipped back away, and Kazicki will stay alive.
Again, good pitch by Page, low in the zone. Maybe look like a little slider movement, maybe a little cutter movement, has some tailing away, spin on it, and yeah, Kazicki fouls it off there. So good at bat here by Kazicki. A couple pitches that are really tough to hit. He fouled it off. That's what you got to do when you're down 2 strikes in the count.
Isaiah Page only allowing a 179 average to batters with 2 outs. And Page takes the signal from Donovan, looks back to hold Bertrand. Now the 2-2 delivery and launched into left field. It looks like Franklin will be able to get under it, though, and another routine fly ball for Jesse Franklin. And Isaiah Page has pitched now 2/3 of an inning in relief of Tommy Henry, and we will go to the bottom of the 7th with Michigan still only down 3.
Yeah, very good job by Page coming in a tough situation. He had a runner on second with 1 out, I believe. It was 1 out, yep, and got out of it. Fortunately, Meyer made that little base running error, running to third, right when a sharp hit, ground ball to Blomgren. Gets out of the inning, fortunately keeps the lead from Minnesota staying at 6-3. As the Wolverines come off the plate here, they're going to have to, like we were talking about last inning in the 6th, down 3 with 9 outs left to go. You have to be more selective at the plate. You can't go fishing for fastballs and breaking balls low and away or fastballs high and away. You got to be selective. You got to get base runners, be more disciplined in your at-bats, and hopefully get a couple runners on and make it a little more stressful for Meyer, who's been absolute dominating since the 1st inning.
And Benjamin Kaiser, oddly enough, was up in the bullpen throwing a little bit. Now he has moved back to the dugout. And now Max Meyer out for his 7th inning of work, as Tommy Henry is currently in line for the loss.
Yeah, it'll be his 2nd loss of the season. Really his 1st loss that's going to look like a bad outing for him. Against Texas Tech, he had a game where he struggled a little bit, but we saw a lot of errors from the Wolverine defense that really hurt that game. I believe he only gave up 2 earned runs during that game. So this is going to go down as Tommy Henry's 1st really bad start of the season. But it's a tough way to start the Big Ten play for him. This is Michigan's second series here in the Big Ten. But fortunately, you have all season to develop it and work on that fastball. And it's the first time we've seen Tommy Henry really lose command of that fastball. So, we got all season to work on that. And the pitching coach is definitely going to be working with it. He looked very sharp the first 3 or 4 innings, and then it really broke away. Actually worked sharp the very first 3 innings, and then 4th and 5th inning it fell away from him.
And top of the order up for Michigan as Jordan Wogu will lead off the 1st inning. And Meyer, the high sidearm delivery, and Wogu will foul it out over into the Gopher bullpen. And while today hasn't been going the baseball team's way so far, not all is lost here at the Wilpon Softball Complex. Things are going just fine over at Alumni Field. Alex Drain and Vanessa Litchard on the call for WCBN Sports on WCBN Sports 2. And Meyer, the 0-1 delivery over Wogu's head.
Yeah, that's a big body to throw over Wogu, a big guy, very strong presence. Really sitting out at that leadoff spot. Yeah, high fastball there. Gonna keep him honest a little bit.
And as said, that home run that you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, a Lexi Blair 2-run shot to put Michigan out ahead 2-1 over Indiana. The score is now 4-1 in favor of the Wolverines over at Alumni Field, as another ball thrown by Max Meyer. And now the 2-1 delivery. And Wogu swung on and grounded over to third base, and it will be a routine ground ball. And Jordan Wogu one away. Easy throw from Wassel to McDevitt.
Yeah, Wogu kind of looked a little uncomfortable on the inside pitch. Meyer delivered again, like we've been talking about all broadcasts, a low and inside pitch that's been so dominant and really in control, hitting spots, hitting the corners. Wogu had a tough time kind of turning his hand, turning the hips, pulling those hands in. He gives a little chopper over the whistle. That's the first out for the Wolverines.
And now Jesse Franklin will take a ball low and gets out of the hit in the count 1-0.
Yeah, Franklin again in that, I believe it was the first inning or was it the second inning? I think it was the first inning where Franklin really gave that bomb. If he can do it again here, that'd be big for the Wolverines.
And Franklin takes another ball low and away and is now up 2-0, and Meyer is going to have to work a little bit.
Yeah, really, we haven't seen Meyer fall behind the count a lot today, so this would be a big opportunity for Franklin maybe to get on base here.
And Franklin takes another one outside, 3-0, and Meyer really painting the outside border. The first pitch is low and over the heart. Second one up outside corner, and the 3-0 pitch low in the zone called strike one. No way Franklin was ever going to swing at that.
Yeah, Meyer really a guy who's really got a lot. He's got really a fast pace there on the mound. He gets the ball, he gets set, he goes his windup, and he delivers a pitch. He's already delivering a pitch again here.
And the 3-1 pitch, and lost him. Ball 4, low and inside. And you're right, Meyer working very quickly. Yeah. I would say a little bit like Mark Burley, but he's way too small. Way too small.
Yeah, that Mark Burley pace. It's very hard to live up to that one. But Myers, he's getting close, man. The way he's really, I think it's really hard for a hitter when a guy's working fast like that. It's hard to get in a rhythm. You want to do your sort of, your traditions, your general wave going into the plate, and Meyer working fast is taking it away from the hitters.
And now Jordan Brewer swung on the first pitch and launched into shallow right field, and that's not even going to make it to the outfield. An easy play by Zach Raby, and already 2 away. Jordan Brewer not having his day today.
Oh. Yeah, Jordan Brewer, a guy leading the Wolverines in home runs this year, sitting at 8 on the season. Yeah, not really exactly in his rhythm. Maybe, and it is very defeating. That first at-bat, we've talked about it a couple times in the broadcast. That first at-bat had that check swing where the home plate umpire took the authority and made the call. Usually you go for the appeal. Maybe that's got Donovan a little bit out of his rhythm. Sorry, Jordan Brewer, out of his rhythm.
And Miles Lewis will step into the batter's box. The righty-righty matchup in Meyer's favor, and a ground ball over to Wassel, and will make the easy ground ball to second, and actually not so easy as Raby made a mess of it. And originally the throw was off target, but able to stretch and keep his foot on the bag, and the 7th inning down in short order. Save a Jesse Franklin walk. Not a whole lot to write home about in the 7th inning, as Isaiah Page will step out for the 8th inning.
Yeah, almost a very, very dangerous play for Minnesota, as Wassel got the ground ball to third, delivered to second. Fortunately for Minnesota, they were able to keep their foot on the base, and Raby made a great play lunging out. I don't want to say it saved a run, but it saved a very tough situation for Meyer as he leaves another inning scoreless. Been very, very in control for Minnesota. Really, he gave up that 2-run bomb to Franklin in the second, and then he gave up a weird play. He gave up a run in the 6th inning. Has really been very in control throughout this game.
Now Max Meyer thrown 123 pitches.
Yeah.
Been a very busy man today.
Yeah, I would not expect to see him out in the 8th inning. We've seen work in the Minnesota bullpen, really honestly, since he got in trouble in the 6th inning. So I would not doubt coming here in the bottom of the 8th when Wolverines come up to the bat next. To see a pitching change here, get Meyer off the mound today. He's been very, very dominant, like I said. And for a guy who's done as much as he did, like you said, he's a busy man today. He's hitting, he's pitching. He had that rope down the right field line. So, yeah, 126 pitches is a lot. Expect him not to come out again here in the bottom of the 8th.
Max Meyer, more than worthy of a potential W. He would be in line for if he is, in fact, done for the day, as McDevitt, the senior for the Gophers, will step into the batter's box.
Yeah, McDevitt had a couple rough at-bats here today, sitting at McDevitt's up to plate. He's up over 3 on the day. He's definitely a good hitter. McDevitt's had some struggles today, but over the course of the year, he's been sitting at, I think, at 274, so he's been a super solid hitter. Expecting him to maybe get ahead in the count here on Page, a guy who's like to delivers a lot of first-pitch strikes. See if you get ahead early. Up 3, you have the capability of doing so.
And a bit of a stoppage in play for unspecified reason, but now Isaiah Page ready to go from the windup, and swung on and launched into right field. And Brewer ranging back, and Jordan Brewer will make the routine fly ball catch. And Isaiah Page, one more pitch, one more away.
Yeah, McDevitt was about 3 feet into the gap away from having a big double. I mean, you saw Franklin over that righty hitter, and McDevitt had a little bit of a shift down. He was playing not necessarily behind the shortstop, was definitely to the left of the traditional second base shortstop spot. And McDevitt gave a strikeout to the right center. Unfortunately, he was too close to Jordan Brewer, and they got the big first out for the Wolverines.
And now the first pitch, a called strike one off speed to Zach Raby.
Yeah, good. Like you said, off speed. Looked like a little slide piece. Broke in, started middle, inner third. Broke out to the outer third. Very good pitcher for Page, getting ahead of the count 0-1.
Zach Raby, the young freshman from Forest Lake, Minnesota. The 0-1 delivery and a called strike two on the outer edge of the plate.
Yeah, might have been, you're definitely showing your emphasis in your voice. May have been a little outside. I might agree with you there, Hornberg, but nonetheless, Page is up ahead in the count 0-2.
And now Isaiah Page. 1 strike away from 2 outs, and the 0-2 delivery, and fouled away into the parking lot at Ray Fisher Stadium, and hit off the rear bumper of a car off a bounce off the asphalt.
Nick, that's what they call 2 points. There's 2 points there for Raby. Big, got the body of the car. He deserves 2 points for that.
I generally consider it a lesson as why you shouldn't park near a baseball stadium. But
and guess who parked over there? Me.
And 0-2 delivery from Isaiah Page, and low, ball 1.
Good pitch there by Page. A curveball that broke to the bottom of the zone. Honestly, a great plate awareness by Raby taking that pitch. It's a very tough pitch to take down 0-2. You see that breaking ball that starts in the zone and breaks to the bottom. Good plate awareness by Raby to take that one.
And the 1-2 delivery from Page, swung on and grounded to Blake Nelson at third. Nelson will throw it over to Jimmy Kerr, and just like that, 2 away here in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, a nice play by Blake Nelson, keeping the ball in front of him. A sharp throw over there first to Kerr, and gets a second out as Page has been very efficient. Only thrown so far today, he's only thrown 16 pitches, and right here in 1 1/3 inning, he had got 2 outs last inning. He's got 2 outs this inning. Been very efficient with his pitch count. He's delivering fastballs in the zone, breaking balls, start in the zone, move out of the zone. Been very good so far here in relief. And
now Wassel will step in the batter's box for the Gophers, and Isaiah Page, first pitch outside, ball 1.
A little outside there. 0-0 count. Page is really trying to work him here. Waisel, a guy who's been really hitting the ball well today. He's 1 for 2 with a big RBI. It's definitely understandable there for Page. Leave a pitch a little bit outside. Wasn't too far off, though.
And the 1-0 delivery, and in the dirt, as Page really just lost track of that one.
He's kind of smiling a little bit. He knows that wasn't exactly the greatest pitch. Man, that almost bounced in the grass, let alone the dirt. Tough pitcher by Page. That's okay, though. Down 2-0 has been very efficient here. Trying to come back here against Waisel has been
It's okay.
sad.
It's okay. None of it's real. It's all turf.
Yeah, exactly.
And Page, the 2-0 delivery, and a called strike 1 on the outer edge of the plate.
Absolute beautiful pitch right on the black. Very good pitch, low and away. Nothing great for Waisel to hit there. But that's a very risky pitch to deliver down 2-0. A lot of guys like to leak the fastball over the plate, and he kept it around the corner. Great pitcher by Page.
Wassel from Geneva, Illinois. The 2-1 delivery from Page, swung on and missed. Strike 2, and Isaiah Page evened up the count at 2 in his favor.
Yeah, definitely starting to reach back there, putting a couple more mile per hour on that fastball, looking very good. Looking very sharp here again. Like I said, been very efficient again here. 2-2 count. Came back down 2-0. And really 2-0 pitches that didn't miss much besides that second pitch.
And Isaiah Page, the 2-2 delivery. And it will be swung on, and a leaping catch by Blake Nelson. And Isaiah Page makes quick work of Minnesota in the 8th inning. And we will now move to the bottom of the 8th. Michigan with 6 outs to go here at Ray Fisher Stadium of the Wilpon Baseball and Softball Complex here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball.
Yeah, very good pitch by Page inside to Waisel. Waisel kind of had the Derek Jeter inside-outside swing and a lefty, a guy where the Wolverines are playing a shift on. Third baseman who was sitting at the shortstop position. Really kept almost a very nice swing and hit there by Waisel to put it the other way. Unfortunately, it was right to Kerr's hand, and the Wolverines get out of it. Excuse me, to Nelson's hand.
And it will be Brett Schultz for Minnesota coming in to pitch the 8th inning as a setup man. And really, so far the day for Minnesota starting, really how you map it out. A formulaic pitching performance, 7 innings from the starter. Now you have an opportunity to go setup man to closer.
Yep. You get the 6 out close here. Guy who's been very good in this season. You know, right now he's got a 2.61 ERA. He's a high strike ball pitcher. 25 strikeouts to 5 walks. So he's definitely got a very, very good possibility of delivering the K. You see that from a lot of relievers. Guys who can throw very hard. He's not like typical relievers. A lot of relievers like to stay out of the stretch and not really go into that windup. But Schultz here is coming out of the windup here in his warm-up pitches. 4-0 on the season. Like I said, 2.61 ERA, 1.20 whip. Been very good in the season. A big prime spot here to get a 6-out save here for the Gophers.
And Brett Schultz, the junior from Maple Grove, Minnesota, right-handed pitcher, long and lean, 6'2", 180.
Yeah, he's definitely got some power behind that fastball. He threw a little slider there. It's big here coming in a new pitcher here. You like to see guys from the bench really kind of time his delivery, see what he's going to give you, where he's going to put his pitch, if he's going to hide his pitches at all, what kind of arm slot he's going to deliver it from. And Schultz has really, so far, shown out a good fastball. He had a good little movement on his cutter slider there. So I could definitely see why Minnesota is going to him here in the top of the 8th or bottom of the 8th, trying to get a 6-out save.
And Blake Nelson will step in to the batter's box, the right-handed senior, hitting .359 in the season, 1 for 3 today.
Yeah, he did have that signal. It was a really sharp hit ball. Again, he grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th and flew out to center field in the 6th. See if he can get going again here in the 8th.
And Schultz, his first pitch of the afternoon is launched into right field, deep right field, but routine fly ball in the end for Easton Bertrand, and Blake Nelson is away.
Yeah, like I said, we were talking about earlier, down 3 here in the 8th inning. You like to see a lot of managers tell their players to take the first pitch, but Nelson was not all about that. He went on that first pitch and kind of gave a lazy fly ball to right field. Carried a little bit, but nothing too dangerous as the Gophers get the first out.
Well, the cautious play is rarely ever in character for Eric Bakich.
Yeah,
as
very true.
Jimmy Kerr steps into the batter's box, righty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch will be a called strike 1, low in the zone over the plate.
Yep, good pitch out of Schultz there in a low outside corner. Lefties do not typically like that low outside pitch. They like the low inside pitch they can turn on and drive to right field. Good outside pitch there, nothing there.
And 0-1 delivery, too far outside, 1-1.
Yeah, it looks like Schultz tried to get a little backdoor, maybe slider cutter movement there. Almost got it. It's a very good pitch. Backdoor pitches, again, for lefties are incredibly hard to hit, so very good delivery there.
And Schultz, the 1-1 delivery to Kerr, and swung on and missed by Jimmy Kerr, fooled by what looked like a curveball as Kerr finds himself behind 1-2.
Yeah, Schultz definitely has Kerr off balance here in the second at-bat at the bottom of the 8th. Like I said, deliver that fastball away, very good pitch. Throws a backdoor cutter, backdoor slider, very good pitch. And then gets Schultz off balance there, gets Kerr off balanced. 1-2
delivery, too far inside. And Kerr actually had to take a step away to avoid getting hit, and the count is evened up at 2.
Yep, 2-2 here. You know, he took a very good pitch, low and inside on 1-2. I expect Schultz to deliver that high fastball, that strong fastball, get Kerr swinging.
2-2 delivery from Schultz, and a high fastball swung on and missed by Jimmy Kerr, and 2 outs away. And I didn't realize I was calling baseball with Tony Romo.
Yeah, you're right. Nice little call there, but you got to expect it. He delivers an off-speed pitch, low and in. You got to expect there to switch eye levels and deliver a fastball. He gave it high away, and really, that's not exactly what a lot of high fastballs look like. You don't want a high fastballs. You don't want the batter to extend and get his full extension and maybe drive one. You want to give him full or high and inside, but nonetheless, change eye levels, give a high fastball, and got him swinging.
2-out delivery, and up in the zone, called strike 1 on Jack Blomgren.
Yeah, Schultz again, man, looking very, very much in control here. Very good start here in this. And really in this early relief here for him. Typically he comes in the 9th inning, but so far in the 6-out save looks very good.
And swung on and missed the off-speed pitch, and Jack Blomgren, another Wisconsin native for the Wolverines, finds himself behind 0-2.
Yeah, again, fired that fastball. Second pitch came off speed and had Blomgren out on his front foot as he really, really fooled Blomgren there. Definitely has these Wolverine hitters off balance. Curious to see where he comes here with this 0-2.
And 0-2 pitch. Swung on and launched into right field, a little bit deeper, but another routine play for Bertrand, and another 1-2-3 inning for the Gophers as Brett Schultz struts over to the Gopher dugout, and Michigan will be down to their last inning.
Yeah, very, very sharp inning there for Schultz. Came in through 7 pitches. He had great command in that first at-bat. Second at-bat, we really was working Kerr a lot. Him inside out. He gave him that backdoor slider that looked barely missed. He comes in with that slider low and in. And again, he gets that high fastball to strike him out. And there on the second pitch of the at-bat, delivers a fly ball to right field. Schultz looking very good here coming out in the 9th. The Wolverines, they might want to consider taking the pitch, trying to get up in the count because really Schultz, you're not squaring much off around him.
And all going well, Eric Bakich has put in his final pitcher for today, Isaiah Page. His day is done in 1 2/3 innings, no hits given up. And Benjamin Kaiser will step in to pitch the top of the 9th here for the Wolverines.
Yeah, recapping Page's day, looked very good. 1 2/3 inning, no runs, no hits, no walks, no earned runs. Looked very good today. Like I said, had high command of his fastball, was breaking his off speed very well. You know, unlike, Tommy Henry today, throughout his 2 innings, Page looked very good. Hit spots, had good command of his fastball, and really got batters off balance with his off speed.
And Benjamin Kaiser, the big lefty out of the bullpen, 6'3", 215 from Portage, Michigan.
Yep. Yeah, Kaiser, Portage, Michigan. Coming out of high school, I was a big baseball player here in Michigan. I love baseball, and I always pay attention to the baseball landscape around the state of Michigan. And Kaiser definitely is one of those highly talked about guys coming out of Portage. A lefty with high velocity. He's got a very good slider. I would not doubt to see this guy maybe have a little more of a bigger role coming to the Wolverines down his last couple years here.
And Kaiser, a redshirt junior. Strong season so far. ERA of 3.68. That's a little bit inflated from getting shelled against Texas Tech. But so far had a strong last couple weeks. A whip of below 1.
Yeah,
gives up 214 to leadoff hitters.
Yeah, you're talking about his performance against Texas Tech, though. That's really tough. It's a down south team who is one of the top teams in the country. I believe when Michigan played them, they were around, I think they were 7 in the country, a team that's very good. And Kaiser struggled. We saw Tommy Henry struggle a little bit. Carl Coffin really struggled against Texas Tech and the Red Raiders, who, looking tomorrow's had Michigan numbers playing the Final Four tomorrow. And the Texas Tech team has been very dangerous and really beat up Wolverines.
And it will be Riley Smith in the batter's box first. And Smith squares around to bunt and does not pull away and is assessed strike 1. And Ben Kaiser finds himself out in front of his first batter. Yeah,
Smith, another guy with pretty good speed. He tied for second in stolen bases for the Minnesota Gophers. That's the 4th time today we've seen a Gopher square around on a bunt. It's been a very interesting philosophy here for the Gophers.
And 0-1 delivery from Kaiser and way inside, almost kneecapped Riley Smith right there, and count evened up at 1.
Yeah, that's one pitch that many batters don't want to take, a fastball to the knee. And you kind of saw Smith there show a little grit and kind of slide that knee a little bit in there. Maybe he was trying to take a pitch. Man, I wouldn't want to take that fastball to the knee, especially how hard Kaiser throws.
And Ben Kaiser, 1-1 delivery, another one inside, and 2-1.
Yeah, Kaiser really working that inside part of the plate. Both pitches were pretty inside, but he's coming hard and in. Maybe try to move a 2-seamer away, slide something away from him. Really working that inside part of the plate. Maybe change the eye levels too. It's been low inside fastballs, and Franklin's taking his glove off and doing something weird in center field. It's a couple times I've seen him do that today.
And 2-1 delivery and launched it to center field, and Jesse Franklin has that glove on in time and able to make the play.
It was so weird. He had his glove off, and Franklin's a left-handed center fielder. He had his glove in his right hand and was swinging it weird. Puts it back on and makes a play there. Fortunately, thank God he put it back on. But yeah, big pitch there for Kaiser again. Just really working the inside part of the plate. Did it again. Got a big fly ball. So big first out for the Wolverines, trying to hold this lead short there for the Minnesota Gophers. Trying to go in that bottom of the 9th, keeping this 3-run lead.
And 1 away here in the top of the 9th, and Ben Kaiser finds himself pitching to the top of the order. Mazinga, first pitch, and swung on and missed. And Kaiser once again finds himself out in front.
Yeah, Kaiser again looking really hard, throwing a lot of fastballs inside. He still does it again here to Mazinga, a really speedster. He's laid down a couple bunts today. And it's really hard to bunt high and in fastball, so we'll see what he comes here with 0-1.
And 0-1 delivery to Mazinga, and another swing and a miss.
Again, another fastball. Looked like that one had a little tail on inward action. Might have been his two-seam. It looked very good. He's throwing a lot of hard fastballs inside. That might be a little philosophy. It might be what Kaiser's comfortable with.
And Kaiser really attacking hitters inside since his entrance into the game, and now he sets, delivers, and a called strike 3 on the outer half of the plate. And Ben Kaiser has his first strikeout, and Mazinga will have to trot back to the dugout.
Yeah, again, it looks like they had a little movement. It looked like it was a backdoor two-seam fastball. Started off of the plate, kind of moved back into the far outside corner. Looked very good there for Kaiser. Again, Michigan's bullpen looking very good. Page looked really sharp, and Kaiser out here is looking very sharp. Big play for the Wolverines here, getting 2 outs early in the top of the 9th.
Now Eli Wilson, potentially Minnesota's last batter, and the first pitch taken low, ball 1.
Again, Kaiser coming back with that first pitch fastball. Unfortunately, you can't continue to do that coming up here with with Meyer on deck. He might want to look at that first pitch fastball, which he did last inning, and deliver a strike. So maybe Kaiser might have to switch it up a little bit.
And Ben Kaiser, 1-0 delivery, and another one taken low for a ball. And Kaiser finds himself behind for the first time.
Yeah, I think Kaiser came back with that two-seam fastball again there. He's sticking with that fastball. We haven't seen that slider, that curveball come bending over. So I'm very curious to see here, 2-0. We're probably going to see him stick with the fastball. It's been his bread and butter. So I expect here to leave another fastball over the plate.
Now 2-0 delivery from Kaiser, swung on and launched into right field. And Brewer ranging back, and he will be able to make the play. And Minnesota, barring something unexpected, very likely done on offense for today. And Michigan has 3 outs to score at least 3 runs to stay in this game.
Yep, you're coming in the bottom of the 9th. Joe Donovan's going to be a leadoff hitter. You got Thomas coming up second and Wilby third. I talked about it earlier. Really, when you see a lot of runs and a lot of runs produced in one specific inning, typically it comes when your bottom half of the lineup can deliver a couple base hits, get on base, put runners in scoring position for the top of your lineup. So this is really a prime position. If Donovan can get on it, Thomas can get on, you're right back into position with Wogu coming out with runners in scoring position, or especially runners on base. So it's really critical for Donovan and Thomas to get on base, maybe take a couple pitches. If not, try to push one the other way. Just get a normal base knock and get on base. That's what's most important here with 3 outs to go, down 3 runs. You got to be selective. You can't swing at bad pitches. And ultimately, just try to get on base.
And no action in the Gopher bullpen. This is Brett Scholl's game to close, as he will go out and attempt the 6-out save for Minnesota, trying to only use 2 pitchers, as they're going to want to save bullpen arms for the weekend as well.
Yeah. Like I said, first game of a 3-game set. Yeah, it's definitely going to be particularly tough. That you got to keep your bullpen fresh. That's a hard thing to do here. You know, and big time play. And these are 2 very competitive baseball teams coming into the season. These are 2 teams that were looked at as the prime candidates to win the Big Ten. And Minnesota's really jumping out on a strong foot here, and really putting up a 6-run spot on Michigan's ace. It's going to be very hard for the Wolverines to come back on.
And on the Michigan side, Willie Weiss just getting warm, the freshman from Oregon. And Joe Donovan will stand in the warm-up circle, and now will step over to the batter's box as the first in this 9th inning. And Dominic Clementi will move to the on-deck circle to replace Akeo Thomas, whose day appears to be complete.
Yeah, Clementi, a left-handed bat, coming trying to get that lefty-righty platoon at bat here late in the inning. Hopefully he can give Wolverines a little bit of a spark.
And Joe Donovan calls time and then settles into the box as Schultz, the quick delivery, and taken low, ball 1.
Yeah, good first pitch by Donovan. Here again, like I said, down 3 with 3 outs to go. Typically, I like to see my hitters take a pitch, try to get Schultz into rhythm, and really try to set yourself up in a good opportunity to get a base knock.
And 1-0 delivery. Donovan popped way up, and that will settle comfortably into foul territory off of an overhang on the left side of the gallery here at Ray Fisher Stadium.
Yeah, Donovan put himself in a good position. He took the first pitch, a pitch that was pretty close. There, swings at a pitch that looked not in the zone, and he flies out. Luckily, it goes, out of the ballpark, and luckily it's foul ball and no harm, no foul. But again, I really like to see my hitters take a strike first. I know a lot of guys like to swing on the first pitch. That's first strike. That's going to be the best one. But here late in the inning, you got to be selective.
And Joe Donovan, 1-1 delivery and taken high, ball 2, and Donovan finds himself out ahead again.
Yep, 2-1 count here. Schultz really thrown all 3 pitches have been fastballs. So hopefully Donovan likes to see that fastball come again. Hopefully he's sitting on it. He can drive it either in a left field or right field gap. But most importantly, just get on base.
2-1 delivery from Schultz. Donovan swings on it, and another one pops straight up, and that will fall into the crowd about 20 feet in front of us. Good play off the bounce by a fan as he gives the ball away to a kid.
Not gonna lie, Hornberg, I thought you were going to rip that window open to come diving out of the box here to make that play. We were pretty close there. We could have made a little diving effort.
I'm not brave enough.
Yeah, me neither. That's a big drop down there, man. I don't want to worry about that.
That's a long way.
Yeah, I agree. Diving here, 2-2, staying alive in the count.
And the 2-2 delivery from Schultz, and swung on, and it will be lined into left field, and a play on the run by Riley Smith, taking away what looked like a potential extra base hit, and Joe Donovan is retired.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Joe Donovan. Really squared that ball up really well. Schultz left it a little bit over the plate and gives a sharp hit to left center. Fortunately, Smith had a good read on it, had great reaction, and made the big first out for the Minnesota Gophers. Now with 2 outs to go, Wolverines have to get something going. They have to get on base here, especially if you're a leadoff or if you're a pinch hit hitter like Clemente. He's really got to get on base here.
And now a mound meeting for the Gophers. Doesn't look like Schultz will be taken out. There's no action in the Minnesota bullpen. Might just be some instructions to how to approach Dominic Clemente. Of course, Clemente now the pinch hitter, replacing Akeo Thomas at the bottom of the lineup, and really goes to show how far Akeo Thomas has fallen when in a key situation he is taken out for a hitter in Dominic Clemente, who is only hitting 192.
Yeah. You nailed it right in the head there. Clemente really hasn't hit the ball specifically well, but I think they're trying to look for a platoon at bat here. Maybe Clemente's a lot better against right-handed pitchers as the left-handed at bat. So, I mean, I can understand here a pinch hit, get the lefty ready advantage.
And now Clemente will step into the left-handed batter's box, and Schultz will take a signal from Eli Wilson. The delivery, and outside, a called strike 1. A bit generous there by home plate umpire.
Yeah, again, it looked like it was a backdoor slider. It looks like it was a good pitch, started out of the zone, came close to the zone. I thought it was outside as well, Nick, but fortunately a called pitch strike and a very good backdoor cutter.
0-1 delivery, swung on and missed. A curveball low in the dirt, swung on by Clemente, and now behind 0-2.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you're looking for here as a pinch hit hitter, not to fall behind in the count 0-2 to a guy in Schultz who's got a very high velocity fastball.
And 0-2 delivery swung on, and it will be grounded into right field, and there will be life for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Clemente with a single. The call for the pinch hitter working out for head coach Eric Bakich.
Yeah, for Schultz, he delivered 2 off-speed pitches. He had the backdoor slider that got into the zone, then he threw another slider low in the dirt that was blocked and called for, he swung, that Clemente swung and missed, and then he comes out with a fastball 0-2 and leaks it over the plate, and Clemente punches it out into right field. Really, 0-2, you've had 2 great off-speed pitches. You want to bring a fastball, you can't leak it over the plate like that. He did, and Clemente capitalized.
And Jordan Wogu will step into the box, and the first pitch taken inside for a ball. Again,
looks like it was off-speed. Schultz really likes this first pitch off-speed approach. And if you're Wogu here, if I'm him, I'm sitting on a fastball. You're up in the count, 1-0. I'd still take until I see that first pitch or that first strike. And then once you get that first strike, look fastball and try to deliver.
And the 1-0 delivery on its way from Schultz, and another one inside, and another one nearly hits Jordan Wogu.
Yeah, high in the pitch. Schultz is losing his command a little bit. 2-0. I'm taking here until you see a strike. You get to 3-0, you're definitely taking. But still here at 2-0, I am taking until I see Schultz deliver a strike.
And now the 2-0 delivery from Schultz, and another one low inside, and Jordan Wogu one pitch away from a walk.
Yeah, with a guy with a guy like Jesse Franklin, who's already delivered a home run today, if you're Jordan Wogu, you are taking this pitch. The tying run is on deck. You have the capability of a guy like Jesse Franklin who can more than likely hit the ball out. You have to take this pitch if you're Jordan Wogu.
And now 3-0 pitch, and called strike one right over the plate. Easy call right there. Jordan Wogu evidently not given the green light.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're looking for. That's fine. Wogu totally going into that pitch was not looking to swing, but the pitch was coming. He took his right hand off the bat. But here at 3-1, you're looking at a prime fastball right down the plate.
And 3-1 delivery and taken outside, and Jordan Wogu has drawn a 5-pitch walk. And now Jesse Franklin represents the tying run as he steps up to the sound, to the tune of All Along the Watchtower, as I will contend the best walk-up music of any player on the team. I know Austin would disagree. A big fan of AC/DC's Big Jack to show the arrival of Jack Van Remortel, but Jesse Franklin now steps into the left-handed batter's box. Jesse Franklin 2 for 2 today with a home run in the first inning off of Max Meyer.
Again, you saw Schultz deliver a 5-pitch walk here. I'm seeing him deliver me a strike. Wogu had a very good at-bat. He was patient. He got a walk out of it. Same thing here has got to work for Franklin.
And Jesse Franklin, first pitch, and a called strike one over the heart of the plate.
Yep, that's fine. He does exactly that. He sits there and waits for his first pitch. It was delivered a strike. Now go to work. Try to put a ball in the gap. Maybe try to not even necessarily have to put a ball in the gap. Just get on base here and put a guy really in a dominant hitter like Jordan Brewer. Get him to the plate here.
And Franklin standing in the left-handed batter's box. Only one out, but possibility of double play. And the 0-1 delivery, another called strike, this time on the outer half of the plate. And Jesse Franklin is going to have to battle, as he has done really all game.
Yeah, Schultz delivered a very, very good 0-1 pitch right in the outside paint. Might have been a touch outside, but regardless, gets the second strike called. Here, if you're Franklin, you shorten up. You gotta choke up, widen the strike zone. Excuse me. Put something on the ball.
And Schultz 0-2 delivery, swung on and missed by Jesse Franklin in the dirt, but Eli Wilson applies the tag, and now Michigan down to their last out. And Jordan Brewer 0 for 4 today, but he will step into the batter's box, trying not to be that last batter for the Wolverines.
Yeah, nothing cures an 0 for 4 at bat, or 0 for 4 day, like a 2-out, 3-run home run to tie the ballgame in the 9th inning. Jordan Brewer's had a great opportunity here to make something happen to keep this game alive for the Wolverines, but you can't look to tie the game up right here. You got to, like I said, shorten your zone, look for pitches. Don't exactly go out trying to tie the ballgame. Be selective with the pitches given to you.
And Jordan Brewer capable of hitting the ball a long way as he takes the first pitch, an off-speed pitch for strike one.
Yeah, it sure looked like it broke low in the zone, but it was a good pitch there from Schultz there, off speed, and Brewer, like a fastball hitter, he's really looking for a pitch over the zone that's going to be a fastball. But here, 0-1, he might see a couple more breaking balls.
And the 0-1 delivery from Schultz on the way and well outside, and the count evened up at 1.
Yeah, Schultz definitely reached back for that one. Had a couple more miles per hour in that fastball. Really reached back, and it looked hard. And behind the dish, Wilson, an outside pitch, had a little struggle with it, but Brewer here again, 1-1 count. Look for that fastball. Try to drive something that you like.
And 1-1 delivery on its way, and another one taken low and outside, and Jordan Brewer finds himself out ahead 2-1.
Yep, big take there. The last two pitches have been not too far off the plate, but somewhat away from the plate, and very good takes by Brewer. And Schultz is really humming it in there right now. He's reaching back. He wants this out. This is the big out for Minnesota. This would be a big win against the Wolverines here.
And Brett Schultz, 2-1. Swung on and fouled over into the parking lot. And I don't think it hit a car, but I lost it.
Yeah, the most exciting play here of the baseball game has been a ball sitting in the car. But, yeah, Brewer there, outside pitch. Did not look like it was going to be a strike, and he swung and fouled it off. Here, 2-2. Now you got to widen the strike zone, choke up, try to put something in play, foul off an outside pitch or inside pitch that's on the black. Stay alive here. Keep Michigan in this ballgame.
Brett Schultz 1 strike away from a series opening win. And the 2-2 delivery swung on and fouled, tipped off of Brewer's foot.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch. Really had Brewer on his front foot. He was way ahead of it, and he grounded it into his own foot, got the foul ball, staying alive. But very, very good job by Schultz, really showing the strong velocity, getting those fastballs out on Brewer's front foot, and then he delivers that curveball, fastballs that got Brewer out on his front foot once he delivered the off-speed pitch.
Looking back at him again, looks like it actually caught him on the left, or the right hip, rather.
Yeah.
Not comfortable at all.
Nope. Those are not the things you look forward to in the batter's box. It always definitely hurts when you fall off yourself.
That hurts when I walk into a corner of a table. I can't imagine getting hit with a baseball. And 2-2 delivery to Brewer, and taken inside for ball 3. And the count is worked full.
Very, very good pitch by Schultz. He threw an inside slider that almost leaked over the plate on a 2-2 pitch, down 3. It's not exactly the pitch I want to take you from Brewer. I would personally, I would swing at that ball. Very, very too close to call there for your Brewer. But regardless, he gets the count full. Expect the runners to be moving here. Full count, 2 outs.
All right. Brett Schultz, payoff pitch, and swung on it. Will be lined into right field, and it will drop. And Donovan, correction, that is Clemente, will come all the way around as Michigan will plate a run, an RBI single from Jordan Brewer. As Jordan Wogu has moved over to third base, Michigan now has runners at the corners, and the tying run is on base as Miles Lewis will step into the box. Yeah, very, very good at bat there by Brewer. He took that 2-2 slider that almost leaked over the plate, but he was patient. He had a fastball away. He stuck his hands out there, and he did exactly what you're supposed to do in an outside pitch. You drive it out the other way, and Brewer got a very, very good bloop single here as the Wolverines are threatening here with the tying run on first base. It's going to be very interesting to see the approach Lewis is going to take here with 2 outs and the runners on the corner. And now it will be Miles Lewis. 0 for 3 so far today. And the 0-0 delivery taken inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Jordan Brewer is also a very, very fast guy. He's 12 of 16 on stolen bases this year. A lot of times catchers like to let that runner go when runners on first and third with 2 outs. They want the pitcher to focus on the batter, don't want to risk throwing it in the center field. But with a 2-run lead, they might go ahead and try that throw at second.
And 1-0 delivery swung on, fouled straight back. Jordan Brewer had gone to second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly what I was talking about there. First and third with 2 outs. A lot of the runners like to see if they're gonna let the catcher's gonna let the runner go. So Brewer had a very good break there, but it looked like a little hit and run on there as Lewis fouls it off.
And count evened up at 1.
I would expect Wogo to be going again.
And the 1-1 delivery on his way. Brewer does not go, but swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, and Michigan once again down to their last strike in the game.
Yeah, like I said last time, down 1-2 in the count, 2 strikes. Open up that zone, choke up, try to deliver something that you can hit. That's exactly what Brewer did last at bat. He took an outside pitch, he took it the other way. You got to do the exact same thing here for Miles Lewis.
And 1-2 delivery from Schultz. Brewer goes, swung on and missed, and this game is history as Miles Lewis, a swinging strikeout, will secure the result for Minnesota. The final score, Minnesota 6, Michigan 4 here in the first game of a 3-game weekend series. And it will be Max Meyer who will be assessed with the win. Tommy Henry will be charged the loss, and Brett Schultz with the 6-out save.
Yeah, when you look back at this game, we're going to see the tale of 2 teams between the 2 starting pitchers. You know, Tommy Henry is one of the best pitchers in the Big Ten, let alone maybe one of the best pitchers in the country, was in very good command up until that 4th inning. When he started losing pitches, he did not snap his curveballs and sliders down. He would leave them over the plate, leaving them high. His fastball had no command. He started walking and hitting pitchers as the game went on. Now, for Meyer, as the game went on, he only got better. He struggled on early, threw 20 pitches in the first inning, gave up 2 runs. But as the game carried on, Meyer was very, very good. So it's definitely a thing that you have to look at regardless of the game. Meyer threw over 125 pitches, 123, excuse me, but really, really showed great poise later on in the game. So that's a big first win there for the Minnesota Gophers, and a tough series against this Wolverines team that was expected to come in here and do very well in the Big Ten. Big first game coming in at Ann Arbor and getting the win.
And Michigan takes their first Big Ten Conference loss, dropped to 2-1 in conference, 20-8 on the season. Minnesota getting closer to that 500 mark overall, 13-14 for the season, but 6-1 in conference, a strong contender for the Big Ten title. And that will end our coverage of Michigan baseball for today. Thank you very much for those of you who are listening here at WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. For Austin Falco and Andy Laidlaw, my name is Nick Hornberg. We hope you all enjoy your evening. The final score here at Ray Fisher Stadium, Minnesota 6, Michigan 4.